Oh, that's right, folks. You hear that music. You know what's going on a Tuesday night. It is the 2020 Spring Tournament, Final Fantasy Randomizer Tournament, Monte Chaos's Casino, Round 3 of Swiss. And we've got a match for you tonight between the 1-1 Avos up against the 1-1 Black Knight. My name is Dang Wu. I will be doing solo commentary, hanging out here in the broadcast booth with the one and only tracker extraordinaire, Danny383. And, well, since this is basically the first day of round 3, what does that mean for anybody that doesn't know and missed the reveal last night? Well, Volcano is incentive. The Guguru Volcano is incentive. That red dragon chest in vanilla that is on the carries floor, that is now our third incentive, or our Fiend Dungeon incentive chest area. So our runners, if they get an early our early canoe, have Ice Cave, have Crescent, and also has Volcano for key item locations. So the canoe is huge early. All right, well, I'm going to get these runners off. But, so, just to kind of talk about here, AvosRuin here, 1-1, had a win over Kenny Star in week 1. Had a loss against a very good player in Zenobia in week 2. Black Knight had a loss in week 1 against Sho Fukumachi, so, I mean, that is an old school runner that is very good at this game, so can't hate that. And then had a win against Much Paranoia. So Black Knight on a winning streak. Avos trying to get a little payback after losing in week 2. So let's see who came out here and who wants to race. What are we looking for here? We got fighter. Okay, so one of them is. Oh. One of them's hoping for good early white magic. The other one is, well, with the two black mages, hoping Fast and Temper end up in level 7 and 8, possibly. Or a higher level in level 6, maybe, in the 2nd, 3rd, or 4th slot. So that the Black Knight cannot get access to Fast or Temper. On the other side of things, Black Knight's hoping for early nuke and fades. Preferably separated, obviously. And our runners should be off to the races here very shortly. And there we go. Same time. Black Knight so mesmerized by the starting of the race. A little hesitant here. Nerves, maybe. Cake and Fast. Nice black magic to start. Cure 4 is promotion. So, not bad magic, honestly. Cake, actually, okay. Cake is a little rough to start. The good news is if we really need to, we could ship our way over to the pirates, be able to kill the pirates with Cake, and then we'll get the key item there, and we'll get level 2 and be able to buy level 2 magic. But at the same time, cabins 239, I was going to say, if we had cheap tents or cabins, I could definitely see our runners doing a very, how do I say this, early attempt to kill Garland with Cake. But Avo says, you know what? Imps died just as easy to Cake too. What's the point of being all sneaky and creative? All we need to do is Cake some Imps, gain some levels, and then we'll go and kill some Garland. 127 gold chain armor is pretty nice. Ooh, that silver weapon, that silver sword, that is something to look out for, especially with these kind of bad magic. Cake is nice, but I have to admit it's really only useful for Lich in my opinion. Outside of mud ghouls and some other enemies too. It's not bad, it's just it can really save you sometimes against that Lich character. And Lich loves to eat its cake. As you can see there, Cake does some work against the bones. Black Knight doesn't have any save items, so this is going to be kind of dangerous. Avos, the first one into Temple of Fiends here. Yes, exactly, Space Strike. It is one. So, Black Knight, as I mentioned earlier, is relying upon early white magic being good. Cure 4 helps. A Fade, Heal 3, that kind of stuff. Obviously, he's looking forward to also. He's also hoping that Temper lands early magic. Nukes lands early so that those red mages can use it. Now, the only downside with Avos is it's a highly offensive, guaranteed black magic, but as we all know, black mages have horrible, horrible HP growth. So 213 in that chest. So these chests in Temple of Fiends here are not worth a lot of money, unfortunately. It's not bad. You could probably buy a spell on level 2, but... And we get the sweet, sweet Garland. Oh, look at Garland there, looking fancy today. Uh-oh. Kate comes out, falls in a crack. Avos, our first one to defeat Garland. Uh-oh. Ineffective. The only downside of not having any saves. So, King gives us the bottle and the canoe. As I mentioned earlier, that early canoe, guess what that means, folks? That's right. We have access to 3 incentive locations. 4 if you include the pirates right now. And Black Knight with that sweet-looking Garland is... Oh, he's got a reset. That's a reset. He's at level 1 now. The downside of the cake. It's a good spell. It's just... Unfortunately, in FFR, in Final Fantasy Randomizer, enemies love to randomly resist, even these low-level enemies like this. And when it does, it eats up your charges. The good news is, Black Knight is going to try and run away, as you're seeing here, and what he's going to do is he's just going to go and try to take on Garland, Avos, the first one into the ship. Going to go visit Ibiki the Pirate and see what kind of level 2 magic we have. Kate misses for Black Knight. He is falling a little bit farther behind. Ooh. Garland is hitting hard, and I see wall and anti-fire. Cake finally! Garland takes the cake, and fire 2 for 238 is awfully expensive. But we get Brack too, so an early cheeky sky play, killing the Tiamat could be possible. If we ever had access to it. We have that Brack. Tiamat is weak to it. Not saying it's going to happen, but the possibilities are endless. Pirates apparently need to work on their dexterity. They cannot hit a broadside of a barn. Whiffing. I didn't see much from level 2. Yeah, wall, fire 2, and Brack, but we got adamant, so great. So we've already got bottle, which gives us +5. We got the canoe for +10, and we just got adamant for +15% experience gain and money gain. So we'll turn that in. Hopefully, it gives us another key item before we make the canoe trip. Now, the awkward part here is we only have Brack to really kill anything. One of the cool things about the early game is... Ooh, harm 3, actually. That's not bad. What's our level 2 magic? Wall, fire 2, Brack. Yeah, never mind. You're not going to be able to get away with it. I was going to say, maybe if Brack wasn't there, you could warrant yourself to do it. You might be able to do like a cheeky Peninsula Power. And ironically, the aquatic pirates are somehow falling in a crack in water. Don't ask me how that's done, but anything's possible. So Black Knight's trying to make up the catch-up here, and joining me in the booth here, just walking in himself, the big cheese himself, Cheese Nader. How you doing tonight?
Hey, I'm okay. Glad to be here.
Welcome, welcome. We just had some fun here. Black Knight had a little unfortunate, had used up all his cake charges. checking all the chests and Temple Fiends. Garland resisted it, so he got punched to death. So Avos kind of took an early lead here, and now it's just kind of catching up here. We've got a bottle from the king. We've got the canoe and the adamant. So basically, we have a lot of early canoeing to do.
Yeah, the inner sea is already super open. Ooh, and I love Black Knight's enemy sprites there. Looks like he's imported some alternate Sahags from another NES game.
Oh yeah, you should have seen Garland. He was looking pretty sweet. So surprisingly, Black Knight I think is going to turn. No, he's not going to turn around. Interesting. Not going to do the adamant turn and says, "I'm going to Crescent to see what that is first." And I was kind of telling people, I'm like, you know, the only downside about the spells is they don't have... So the river tiles or the river enemies are actually a good source of early experience, but we don't have a great way of killing any of them. We've got Brack, we've got Cake, and we got Fire too.
Yeah, you're right, actually. No good AoE that's not resisted by water enemies.
And we have a max price cube in Crescent. And Fade for promotion locked red wizards. And Black Magic Warp is locked out except for the Black Mage, so...
Okay, there's a chance that you could get a shot for like one charge of Warp level 16 maybe before you die of Ice Cave sometime around then.
Oh, nice play by Black Knight here, actually. This kind of work out for him. He gets the crystal from the sages. So he can do the adamant turn-in and the crystal kind of all at once.
Yeah, I mean, it's not super conventional, but if you collect more incentives before turning in individual fetch quests, you do set yourself up for that kind of chance.
And he run... Oh, he didn't save. He didn't have enough, so he's... Uh-oh. I don't think he had enough to save. This could be bad. Scorpion's early. And a crown from the adamant. So... Okay.
I would run here on the Black Mage, maybe? Oof. Okay, this has got to be it. Kill the Scorpion.
Brack, maybe?
Yeah, Brack would be the highest chance to hit here.
Kind of what I thought too.
Oh no.
No. Just run.
But that's 3 and 2 for 6. Yeah, you gotta run.
Oh no.
Oh no.
Oh, the pain at the end. And he's moved all the way back. He wasn't able to save.
Yeah, I see 30 heal pots in the inventory, but no save items. It looks like he maybe declined to go for a cabin or something, which would have made that trip a lot safer.
So, I mean, he does have the news, though. He knows that when he gets there to buy a couple saves, you know, the camping equipment, make the trip there, come back. But unfortunately, to do it, though, he's got to do the adamant turn-in because he's got to hope the chests there in Dwarves have some money. Because we haven't found any tents. Cabins are 239. And, well, there's our big money right there.
So about that cube, the cube was max price, but thank goodness, right? That's one of the latest items we need in the game. Unless we're end up in the outer sea and we need to go up to Sky Castle to find a loose floater or something, cube, we can just get that after we've had a ton of fights and a ton of chests opened.
So I was telling Danny in the broadcast booth earlier, I was talking to her, and I said, you know, everybody's like, oh, it's great. You know, we have all these key incentives nice and early, right? My first practice flag, it is locked behind Chime. So I have to go into Mirage with a Fire 2, Fire 3, and that's it. I was like, oh, fun.
I'm also kind of surprised how similar these party comps ended up being. So, just kind of in retrospect, and you maybe already spoke a bit on this, but they're both a fighter and 3 black casters with just a red mage swapped for a black mage. Both not super common picks for this tournament either. No white mages, no thieves.
Yeah, I kind of mentioned it out to him. I said, Black Knight's hoping for early white magic. The other one is hoping for a deeper black magic that is, requires those black mages. But the problem is the black mages are so soft, have no HP growth, so it's kind of rough. But we get
Yeah,
Exit and Viz 2, though, so not bad.
yeah. Avos's comp is the classic speed and power. You'll often see folks like Shadow Walker and Lord Fizzlebeef run that kind of composition, which is really gives you a good shot at things like 3 nuke casters, 3 temper casters, that sort of thing.
Ooh, that level 4 magic is loaded.
Yeah, that's beautiful. Especially with 2 black casters, they'll get up to around 7 or so charges by the time it's time for Temple of Fiends. Ooh, Astos is giving Black Knight the business. That's usually a pretty easy fight to take care of, but I think he needs higher levels of magic before he goes in again, because with just Fire 2 and insta-kills, Astos MDef can resist a lot of that stuff.
And if he rolls high, that Fire 2 still takes a lot of cast to do. And it looked like he had Sleep. I mean, and you can't really rely upon your fighter to do damage, because even with Amasa, he shrugs off a lot of damage. Although that lock spell would be quite handy. He won't dodge as much when he lowers evasion, but he still has a good absorb, though.
Yeah, one little trend among sort of the sprite family of enemies that follows even into this mini-boss Astos, all the ones with that Dark Elf sprite have very high evade, as well as their magic defense.
Yeah. So Black Knight's kind of learning his lesson here, decides that he needs to make some money to actually buy some cabins, because wiping twice actually had a good bead with that, run to Crescent. Unfortunately, wasn't able to save, got wiped out to Lobsters in a Bowl.
Yeah, it's been a bit of a setback. The thing is that he had the right idea. He was in the place to get those early levels, maybe get to level 7 or 8 right outside of Crescent. He'd just been able to save. This would have all been different. Now you've got one thing going for you here. Because Astos is only handing out the slab, that's another thing you don't need for quite a while.
Yeah, I'm starting to think you either... So, I mean, you kind of have to do a volcano play. You have to at least do a volcano or something to get some levels, because we don't really have any spells until level 4.
Yeah, and cash as well, right? Because that's multiple thousands of pieces of gold you need to pick up for 3 black casters. There were 3 spells to buy at level 4.
Yeah, I mean, they're all good. Lit 3, there's hardly any enemies that really resist, the lightning. You had Ice 3, you had Quad X, and what was the other one? Fire 3 or something like that?
Temper.
Oh yeah, Temper, yeah. So, I mean...
Which
all of
is
those...
not something you usually need that early. However, because you're probably trying to finish Volcano in one go, you need to get through Carry, and Temper is a good way to help your melee get enough damage into Carry.
Yeah. Yeah, because you don't have the nuke, you don't have the Fade cast to just kind of cheese your way through it. And I have to say, Lit 3, Fire 3, and, those kind of spells, unfortunately, just don't do enough. And Aurelian does say, the Confused was level 1. Yeah, it's true. I can't remember which racer it was, but had unbelievable luck in landing it.
But unfortunately, ultimately it died in the fight. I do remember that too.
I do like the Brack usage on the Hydras.
Yeah, that's the way to go on these things. There's only 2 of them in the battle. So if you've got a handful of charges of insta-kills, that's the way to go against Hydras. They can roll high on HP, and the Fire 2 is resisted, so it just is never getting there.
Yeah, I was going to say, if there's a lot of the Caribe, which is, common, if it happens to roll common in the sea, it's unfortunate. But if you get Hydras, that's pretty good, because as you said, the Brack spell can cut through that MDef.
Okay, so Black Knight again on Astos, who has a spell script of Sleep into Lit 2, it looks like. He's mixed his strats. He started with insta-kills, which are low chance to hit on Astos, switched to AoE damage from the Fire 2s and a fast on his Iron Hammer swinging fighter. None of those are getting there before his party ends up both disabled and wiped. Really not a good fight to take right now. Anyways, let's just leave that slab behind and try something a little easier.
Yeah, I mean, as you said, the slab, unfortunately, yeah, it's great to have the 5%, extra experience and stuff like that, but we can't easily kill Astos for that experience, and he's kicking our butt, so we'll come back.
Yep. Meanwhile, Avos does pick up the crystal from the sages, and probably in a better position to get that all the way back to Matoya and tell us what's up. If that turns into the floater, that would be absolutely huge.
Yeah. I mean, so in your position here, you're Avos, okay? I would have said this if you had been Black Knight and had been able to save and stuff like that. Ooh, I like this play. He's gonna check for Pete's. Do you do a cheeky volcano armory, maybe?
Oof, well, first of all, you don't fight Peds, which might be in the Volcano Armory. They have damage poison. But yeah, so Crystal Tournament is a bit far. If you don't want to really leave the area completely, you can just do Volcano Armory, which is kind of a low commitment dive to get a lot of money and a lot of chances at good equipment, and maybe even that canal, which could break you out of this inner sea kind of trap that we're in. But I also think it's a pretty fine play to go check the crystal right away, because if you've parked your ship at the river dock right outside of this southeast inner sea portion, you can sail up to Matoya with a couple of saves and back, no problem.
Yeah, I don't think there's really a wrong play unless once you do it and you realize that Matoya gives you, I don't know, a Thor's Hammer. Although Thor's Hammer is not terrible.
I take a Thor's Hammer right now.
Yeah, I was gonna say, because I was just thinking about it just as I said. I'm like, Thor's Hammer lets us gain levels off those Karibe, which we have not been able to gain anything off of anything so far. Everything is killing us or not dying. Ooh, nice big swing by the Scimitar, I believe he's using there on his knight, or his fighter. Uh-oh. Didn't save. Ooh, the Pete attacked. We got away. I think also, if I'm Avos, as you say, do the Matoya check. Maybe gain that extra experience, then come back and try grinding if you're really going to do this. But I mean, 5% is really not going to make or break anything, but at the same time, you could get a floater, and now you're off to checking a lot other things like Sarda, you're off to the Cardia Isles.
Of note, Black Knight did just hit level 6 thanks to the somewhat lucrative Ogre and Creep fight right outside Elfland there. That puts him at a good break point. Now his Black Mage has 2 charges of level 5 magic, level 3 magic, and the Red Mages have 1 charge of level 3 magic, so that'll increase his power getting around just a little faster.
Yeah, that exit charge definitely makes the armory die.
Oh no, he's buying all these. Okay, he bought 2 Cure 3s. He's gonna have to give up one of these AoEs because he started buying kind of non-essential white magic before noticing that there were 3 and even potentially 4 must-haves at this black shop that you maybe wanted to split up between your red mages. I think you for sure take triple temper and triple AoE, and at that point you kind of decide, well, maybe I only need one of these quad X's, or I only need 1 ice 3 or something like that.
If it's me, I'd probably go Quad X on one and Cure 3 on the other.
Yeah, it's not a terrible choice. I even saw Ruse, though I don't remember which slot it was in at level 4. And Ruse is, that could end up mattering in the late game, but it's certainly not going to help you the way these others will in the early game.
Logic in chat hanging out with us early, man. We got a bunch of people hanging out here. Welcome to the 2020 Spring Tournament Final Fantasy Randomizer Round 3 of the Swiss. I am Bing Wu. Cheese Knitter has joined me in the broadcast booth. This is our first time coming together, Cheese.
Is it really the first ever? Oh my.
I'm pretty sure. And look at that. Unfortunately, Gersharks have really high MDEF. Not bad shots. Oh, it's the Brack.
Black Knight keeps a Light Warrior on one knee and one fully standing and gets through those awful scorpions, but runs into an unrunnable pack. These have got to go down, or gosh, I think his last save might be in Elfland. I don't know if he's prioritized that camping gear yet.
Oh, come on, Cake. Save him. That was a nice shot on the Troll. Troll rolled actually low on damage, it looked like. This could be good. Cake has a chance to hit these, and it missed, of course.
He's giving them the cake, but maybe it's just not their birthday, you know? Sometimes they just don't want
it. they really didn't want it.
But speaking of birthdays, it was the Giants' birthdays there over on Avos' side in the Volcano Armory, and please let us go. Thank you, Pede. Just this once. We'd love to be able to get all the way to the chest.
So the Gersharks here. Geez, I know you're a lot better at this. The Gersharks do have pretty high MDEF, so this Brack chance is what?
It's low. I don't have a number for it, but I certainly wouldn't attempt it. Then again, with this... Oh, but okay, alright.
Okay,
I stand corrected.
Yeah, right? Like, okay.
One lands anyways, for the prize of a Pro Ring, which is going to give 8 Absorb and Death Resistance. More to the point, he's got the levels. Avos has the levels for equipping that level 4 magic. He could come in here with, you know, double Ice 3, double Lit 3. And that's the situation I'd want to be in. So I might be running back to Elfland thanks to the mini grind he did once he's got some cash, because, boy, we need those spells.
Oh, yeah. I mean, that Ice 3, I've seen a couple of them on his Black Mages, but, you know, only having one charge, he's going with those instant death, and wow, they're hitting.
Yeah, they're good against Peds. Peds are very low on def.
And I think one of your practices, I think it was like the first inaugural practice of this, there was a key item that was hidden where he's checking right now that kind of threw everybody off.
Oh yeah, that's an easy location to isolate. It does take a lot of time to walk to, and without warp, it takes a long time to get away. Plus, it's guarded by a forced encounter, so it's pretty easy to leave that for later or much later.
Yeah, I've lost a couple. I just refuse to bypass it anymore. Like, I just don't care. I must check these. Oh, Argoyles, what did you roll today? Oh, we didn't get the check. They actually rolled low.
I loved that Ocho sprite, by the way. That was kind of a later Final Fantasy sprite. Similar sort of family of enemies throughout the series that, like, they're these spooky sort of half plant, half, like, watery creatures that try to do status effects on you. Oh, speaking of status effects, Avos picks up a ribbon in one of the volcano hairpins.
Yeah. Give me resist everything on one of my casters. Yes, please.
So a quick note on Black Knight here. He's been actually already actively contributing a lot in the community. He's been doing both sprite work and development work. He's already talking about making assembly patches, which is what the randomizer is written in, or the game is written, really. And that's some high-level stuff, so maybe a newer player, but is going to get to know it super deep once he starts digging into the code. And anyhow, Avos has a canal.
Okay, so that opens up pretty much everything except for Gaia and Lefane. We now have access to Ordeals. We now have access to Waterfall. I don't think any of our runners are going to do that play, though, but I could see somebody doing a cheeky Ordeals play, maybe. And whiz vamps with the zombie dragon's good source of experience if we can get away with it. And I think they rolled pretty low.
And this is one of the fights we can actually do because we can spam Fire 2 on this, which is, while low against most other volcano enemies, is a weakness of this whole undead pack.
Yeah, that's... Wow. Talk about helping out our runners here. The early volcano dive gives us a ribbon, gives us a fire shield, gives us a pro ring, and a spike tile to gain some early levels if we need it.
Yeah, and with exit in hand, you can just jump back out with exit, maybe house up and keep your gains from the armory, and then go do the rest of Volcano. Get that incentive at the bottom.
Oh yeah, especially with that exit. If you don't feel good about taking on carry, you could leave. Especially if it's like a floater or something like that. I mean, I know it sucks to leave, you know, carry there and stuff, but wiping in this situation could cost you more than you think.
Yeah, Black Knight just gonna hoof it out with his gains. Decides after going back to one stairwell, oh wait, I've got exit, let's do it the easy way. Gonna probably cabin up, maybe clear out the rest of the armory, and then make a decision from there. He still has to do some hairpin checks.
So we found an endgame weapon, we've found the Vorpal so far, which isn't too bad considering each of our runners has 3 black casters that can cast Fast and Temper, so we can get the Vorpal up and running very quickly. But these Agamas are not playing nice.
Yeah, this would, if you ended up finding a spike tile with them on it, you would actually not want to grind it. Agamas, of course, they're the famous source of experience in the vanilla run in this dungeon.
Yeah, I think it ran, what, 2 hits? Almost 3, and Mux with Blizzard.
Oof.
Thank goodness we did not have to go to... Oh, Marsh Cave. Glad we didn't have to go there.
Yeah, now it's a big props for Black Knight's heads-up play of backing out and saving with the cabin before all that happened, so is not concerned too much about the wipe, only set back a couple of floors.
Ooh, Coral.
Mucks are something that are a little hard to deal with in a big pack like that. They have a lot of resistances, however they're weak to lightning, so with some level 4 magic charges we'd be able to maybe sweep them before they sweep us with the blizzard.
Oh, and we found a black shirt. I forgot. Avos found a black shirt in that top... I can't remember exactly where he found it, but yeah, he's got a black
that
shirt
top
too.
hairpin, yeah.
Yeah.
Which is 2 really powerful things to have right next to each other, a black shirt and a ribbon. That basically says this character is going to stay alive, and they can deal with any pack that doesn't resist ice.
Avoid that little spike tile that's right below that treasure chest. It's like in the middle. Kind of a weird one.
Yeah, Volcano is one of those dungeons. Oh, I like that light axe. It's a good pre-promotion equipable weapon that also can hit undead. If Avos decides to put that on his fighter, he'd actually have really a way to kill anything. You could use light axe against undead, and then ice 2 against everything else.
Yeah, it's pretty good melee weapon to use on that fighter. You might actually be able to take carry on with that.
Yeah, and a couple tempers, obviously.
Well, yeah, of course. And a ribbon on them, and hope that it's not a punch-happy carry.
Oof, Wizogres have sleep too. Wonder if that might be the Medusa script, because if so, it's going to have, I think, a Lit 2 coming up behind it. Well, we'll never find out.
Okay, never mind. There's our weapon. Okay.
Okay. That's a really, really good pickup. That's one of the strongest pre-promotion weapons the fighter can put on, and that gives us just that much more chance against carry.
Alright, that. So we're looking at both of these runners, and we go, okay, who's going to have the better the chances of defeating Carrie with this? So one's a 3-person party, the other one is a 4-person party, but has 2 red mages. So the HP growth is obviously, or the HP pool is a lot better on the Black Knight side. Wouldn't you say it kind of comes down to who can conserve their magic the better?
Yeah, it also depends if Avos has exit here, which he does. Okay, cool. So, because if this is a super valuable incentive right after this French vanilla red dragon chest, which rolled multiple red dragons instead of the one, if we want to take this out and not risk carry, then we absolutely need to be exiting.
Interesting.
Is good. With Canal in hand and Key, there's a lot to explore. I guess the information's good either way, but I would hate to miss a loose item because I leave the Key in Volcano forever after wiping to carry.
Avos was telling me that he changed all the elemental sprites. So the fire elementals are red chips, apparently. Okay.
Alright, what are we doing here? We're going to heal up everyone with our last stock of heal potions. We have just about enough. We're going to reorder the party at all. Who's considered sacrificial? Who's supposed to carry us? Because carry 1 can roll high on the physical damage.
I mean, I like that option.
The fighter's going to resist ice spells and blizzard, but nothing else because that ribbon's been moved.
Oof. Oh, he didn't buy any tempers. It wouldn't have mattered much because that's right, you didn't have the money for it.
Could give him the cake. That's about a 6%er. And carry's not hitting hard, so we've got a chance.
Let's do the chip damage.
Yeah, the thing about carry 1... Oh, gosh. Well, all the Fiend ones can roll damage poison. That comes from Tiamat, thank you very much. Low evasion, so got 6 hits for 105 off the Ice Sword. Definitely has a shot, just keep whacking with the Ice Sword. We can get there if carry rolled low on HP. 600 in vanilla can roll down to about 300-ish or under in this flag set, but up as high as over 1200.
Let's do the chip damage.
Yeah, Locke, unfortunately. So we were already getting max hits there against carry. We had 3 hits on the Ice Sword and we doubled it to 6. So, oof! Clutched it out! I was just about to say that Red Mage should be contributing Black Shirt or something that gives us forward progress towards the finish, but we made it. Just don't die between here and the teleporter.
Right? And he did a smart thing there. He stopped, he healed, and he equipped the ribbon just in case. I like that play.
Yeah, very, very heads up.
Because, you know, you and I have been around enough. We've seen a lot of even the veteran runners who made that extra thing, maybe out of just, you know, whatever you want to call it, and they just wiped. And
Yep.
they lost the progress.
And so we see 2 different approaches here already. Black Knight got the key and exited, decided carry not worth the risk. Avos made the bold play, comes out alive with 1 light warrior standing, and did light an orb at the 35-minute mark, the first on stream.
And he doesn't have to come back here. That was a full clear, so Black Knight obviously did a full clear, as you said, but exited out. Volcano's not terrible, because with the lava tiles, it's maybe what? A 3-minute dive, and depending on the encounter.
Yep. So there are a couple ways we can go now. Both runners got the canal in the armory, which means outer sea is open. There's some more loose items, loose chests available. Plus they have incentive dungeons like Ordeals and Waterfall. If they want to stay in the river system, they can do ice. They can also go and dig out all the key locks of the inner sea, which is maybe going to be Avos' first play.
I think for Avos it makes sense because he wasn't able to buy as many level 4 spells like what Black Knight was able to.
Ooh, Black Knight picking up Warp here. If he can maybe put off some of these dungeons where you need Warp, like Ice Cave or Ordeals, maybe he can do something like Waterfall first to get himself levels. Because Exit's just as good for Waterfall, but Warp is the superior one for Ordeals and Ice.
So, I'm curious about this here, Cheese. So, we're seeing Avos has killed off the one Black Mage. Well, I guess that makes actually sense for him. I was thinking about it from somebody else. So, are you a fan of that? With
Yeah,
the Black Mage being banned off?
I think with Fighter Red Double Black, the second Black Mage does less for you making a strong late game comp than the second Red does in Black Knight's comp because of the HP differences you'll get in TOFR. You really want to level that Red Mage up high enough to where it's going to get HP that can resist a nuke or a nuclear.
Right.
Resets out of that Man-Cat Medusa fight. Don't blame him. That is a fight where the Man-Cats resist every element except for time. You have so much difficulty breaking through that without nuke or fade.
Check the other one, and it's Scum, so...
Yeah, not the place you want to be grinding right now. Got a vanilla power staff, maybe even in its vanilla chest. Sells for one, or its costs 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in vanilla. Sells for half of that, but it's probably been randomized down a bit. Meanwhile, Black Knight's making a bold move into the Ice Cave. With Exit, only has to do one loop through here. You go down, you full clear the bottom, you drop down to the incentive check, and then you exit out. Saves you a second dangerous pass through.
Kind of surprised not taking that with a early Fire 2 at least. Cockatrices and Mummies.
Yeah, his levels are decent now that he saved what he got in Volcano. He's all 11 and 12 across the board. Fire Magic is excellent for getting through here. Speaking of Fire Magic, Avos has the Mage Stick pickup from the Dwarf Keylocks. But yeah, Fire... Ooh, and an X-Cal. That's a good bank of chests. Fire Magic is good against not only all the undead type enemies in Ice Cave, but also against the ice type enemies. So that's just about every one of them.
Yeah, I was thinking of... Yeah, I don't know. I always figured, you know, if you can kill him in one round, go for it. I mean, the effort with experience is well worth it, at least in my opinion, but... I can also see the thing of we have to go through this at least one full time. Let's save as many casts as we can.
Speaking of saving casts, I'm probably not going after these Sphinxes here. They have wings, so pretty sure they resist Quake. And in general, they're not easy to physical down. They have high evade in vanilla, so yeah. And also not even worth that much experience. Let's just get away from that tile. Pick up our defense sword. That's a late game piece of gear right there. That'll help you survive against physical fiends.
And a second ribbon in Canaria Lock.
Wow. So between our first couple of dungeons and our key locks, we've already got every kind of piece of gear we'd need to win. We've got weapons that can kill the final bosses, and we've got protection from what the final bosses can do against us. So really valuable stuff. Won't have to open too many extra boxes once we hit go mode.
Yeah, I was going to say, I don't think you really... I mean, obviously Power Bonk would be nice. We have to search for it, because the defense and the Power Gauntlet are amazing together.
Yeah, but 2 triple temper comps, which is not something you see a lot in the tournament. And 3 mages casting temper, that'll turn any weapon into just a nightmare for the fiends real quick.
So, in that case, obviously you would probably go X-Cal through Lich, probably carry. Do you do X-Cal against Kraken 2, or do you go with the Vorpal, knowing that Kraken could roll high absorb, possibly?
Yeah, it depends on where Nuke lands. We have yet to see the level 5 shop, which would be the best remaining place for Nuke to be available. If we have Nuke, then it doesn't really matter what our melee is swinging. We have 3 nuke casters. However, if nuke is super late, then we're going to need to change our approach and maybe evasion up, buff a weapon. In that case, if you're going to buff anything, it might as well be the Vorpal.
Yeah, because as you said, with 3 temper casters, the Vorpal is up and running real quick.
So Avos into the TOF key locks up here. 3 chests guarded by some spike tiles. In this case, it's not even a good one. It's these werewolves and grey wolves. But it's a pretty easy location to forget about or put off. And we have in this tournament seen required loose items in the TOF key locks.
And we get the cousins of the Agamas, the Sardias. So Black Knight's level 12. Do you possibly take some fights here?
So
actually rolled kind of high though.
Yeah, I saw 240 something from one of their spells not take one down. I'm already disinterested. Sorias do give a little less experience than Agamas, so if you're having to put a lot of effort into them, it's not worth it. And yeah, so anywhere between 250 and up, I start to think this is maybe more of a waste of time than a good grind.
Silver bracelet, and well, the heal
That's an
helm,
upgrade.
not so good.
Yeah, silver bracelet is a piece of armor I'm comfortable finishing the game with. That's got 15 absorb and only 1 evade penalty on it.
Alright, so we got Ice Cave still that hasn't been touched. That's incentive. Black Knight's about to get there. Avos has been trying to break out, but has been kind of checking all the locked key chests. I would expect him to probably do Waterfall or Ordeals if he's coming out this way.
Oh, another good a bunch of Dragon Quest sprites for Black Knight. These wizards being one of them. But quick note on where the runners are at. You're saying Avos is trying to break out. He's doing key locks, probably going to get out of the inner sea. Black Knight going Ice Cave. This is kind of the last chance for Black Knight to really catch up from the hiccups he had earlier. If he chose right, and if Floater is in here, then he's going to be in the air way before Avos. But otherwise, he does have an orb deficit.
Yeah, I mean, this is the Ice Cave. I mean, Ice Cave's playing nice. I mean, I haven't really seen anything dangerous casting anything. He hasn't been punched down from anything horrible. The Wraiths are missing, so I mean, that's always nice to see. The Geist with Paralyze, awesome.
That's vanilla. I mean, most of the undead in vanilla have either a stun touch or a poison touch of some kind, and yeah, there used to be these just big packs in vanilla. You just get locked down by stun touch. Didn't matter, but thankfully it looks like just the Wraiths this seed.
Oh, Ice Cave already paying out. There's our first loose. The explosives have been found in Ice Cave.
Yeah, that's a big deal. Now you've got 2 shots at Floater coming out of here, which would just be massive.
And there's that Light Axe doing work against the undead.
Avos making the late crystal turn in here. Because I believe we saw this from Black Knight, is that right?
No, he's
oh no, he wasn't able to make it away with it. Oh wow! It's been there the whole time!
It has been there the whole time.
Goodness. If Black Knight had been able to make it out earlier, he's going to have a TNT and an Oxyel. The TNT might turn into a required item. But yeah, just Avos is going to take a pretty big lead here until Black Knight's able to clean up what's here and get out of the river system.
Now, the one good news for Black Knight is Ice Cave is required. Is the TNT required? We don't know yet. But with that Oxyel being found in that Ice Cave incentive, has to do at least Ice Cave.
If TNT leads to Chime or Loot or Rod, then that means you have to do the full Ice Cave loop, go all the way to the back end for those 3 chests, versus just being able to warp trick it. Because what could really be dangerous to happen would be, Avos comes in here later, go mode -1, checks the, or maybe -2, checks the incentive, gets an Oxyel, and says, okay, I'm going to go look in Sea Shrine for the TNT that was right below him.
Oh, yeah. I mean, that is one of the things I say about this game is it's so strange how where you find certain key items, where it directs you to. Because, finding a canoe early leads you, opens up a lot of paths, but when you don't have the canoe, you kind of get directed somewhere else, or if you find a ship or something like that, you kind of go off in way different directions.
Speaking of going off in different directions, first direction Avos went after getting into the air at the 47-minute mark is right over to Sarda. This is a good check to do immediately after you float the airship, because you can forget this so easily.
Yeah, we've seen it. Actually cost one of our runners in the tournament. Well, not officially cost him, but it hurt him a lot because he had a lot of promotion locked things.
Yep. Avos tries to deliver the herb by just tossing it out of the airship from a low elevation. Doesn't work, so he's going to come in here and actually talk to the prince.
I like that plan. A drive-by dropping off of the herb. Doesn't work, though.
Alright, Sarda required herb to chime. That's another go mode item. We know about that cube, max price in the shop. So the loot and the rod, those are our chase items right now. Where do we find them? We have an untranslated slab from Astos, so we can do that now that we're in the air. We also have bottles, so that's 2 fetches to turn in, plus Waterfall Ordeal still on the table.
Yep. And there's our slab. Oh yeah, that's right, yeah, because we know about Astos, so Black Knight, unfortunately, is trying to get revenge on Astos.
Question in the chat, are Black Knight and Avos all both 1-1? Yes, they are. This is one of our 1-1 pairings for this week.
So shoot that ribbon. This is going to go a whole lot easier. There goes Astos. We finally are able to hold on to our slab. And
hopefully Black Knight doesn't get turned away by the Man-Cat Medusa fight.
So this is actually kind of good for Avos here. He's dropped down. He's doing the ice cave really early, actually. So I don't think he's gonna. Yeah, he doesn't have warp, so he has to do this.
Yeah, so he's not gonna miss that TNT. He's in good shape as long as there wasn't something scary in here that he wipes to that we didn't see the first time through. So he's gonna maintain his lead. It's got I would say a good 5+ minutes on Black Knight if you figure that Black Knight needs to clear the key locks, go to Matoya, and also needs to revisit Volcano at some point, which optimally speaking is like a 2 to 3 minute dive.
Oh. I forgot that he had the TNT, not the adamant. He's already done that one.
Now, something that hasn't showed up yet, as Black Knight gets his Opal Cheerio from the TNT turn-in, so TNT not required. Something that hasn't shown up yet, Tail. You don't need Tail to win, but goodness, with Vorpal and Xcal, you want Tail.
Yeah, that's actually a good point, because we're like, oh, look at these great things that Knight can equip, but it's promotion locked. Ooh, Frosty's with poison damage.
Yeah. That's talk about things that were scary we didn't see the first time through here.
Good thing we have 2 ribbons, because Temple of Fiends Revisited could be quite annoying.
So Black Knight threw on that Opal bracelet, threw it onto his very back row though, and put the silver up front. The red mage in the second slot will take twice as many attacks or targets as the black mage, so usually in this kind of position, if you've got someone who's going to take more hits up front, you want to give them the higher absorb item. Opal bracelet's 34, silver bracelet is 15. And yeah, you're right. Chat points out, Rojo, one of our tournament members, that Black Knight just talked to the dwarves and turned in the TNT, but actually didn't walk over to open those key locks right while he was right there. He had the key, but might have just forgotten about it until now as he checks Canaria key locks. So he gets his ribbon, but he misses Xcal. Thankfully, Vorpal will win the game anyways, so Xcal is more about getting up to Temple of Fiends Revisited. It's great against the enemies in Sky, it's great against the first Fiend.
Yeah, exactly. It's definitely something that'll get you through Temple of Fiends, or through the beginning of Temple of Fiends, through all the Fiend dungeons, really quickly, because the bonus damage to anything that has a weakness, or any sort of creature type, I should say.
Yeah, both in fact. And Black Knight making the right play, finally turning in his crystal, so he's gonna get the floater from Matoya, be in the air in a couple of minutes. Even check these chests. Looks like he did not see them early, which is totally understandable with the canoe leading to Canal in Volcano.
So do you think he feels really behind because he knows that he made that play, wasn't able to make the trip back?
Yeah, I think the combination of that misfortune plus the couple of deaths to Astos, he's feeling like he wasted some time. But there's still time to be made up if the second loose item is a required key item, and it's in a dungeon that Black Knight goes to first.
So we're Rod, Cube, Loot away from Go mode. We have Waterfall, we have Ordeals, and we have a shop item which we know is the Cube. So actually, Rod and Loot are the only ones left, with one loose out there.
Goodness. We have two fetch quest turn-ins, right? So 50-50 that of what's remaining without opening any boxes that we get into Go mode. And if not, then we're going to be on the hunt.
Yep. And we got Thor's Hammer out there, and we have Power Bonk that's out there still.
And at this point in the game, you're past the need for a Thor's Hammer. You'd really love to see that Power Bonk. So best case scenario, Thor's Hammer is loose in someplace silly like, I don't know, mermaids, and just nobody goes there.
Black Knight's officially flying in the air. Gonna do the slab translation. We have officially banned. Life 2 is learnable by the Red Wizard.
Oh, that's so good. Yeah, that's because we hadn't been able to cast life magic up to this point. That's a low enough level to be accessible for promoted Red Wizards. So gonna have 2 copies of that in Black Knight's party and 1 copy of it in Avos's party. It's gonna make it really important to put a ribbon on the Red Mage going through TOFR.
Yep, and he marked it down. I'm pretty sure by him sitting there waiting, he was marking down Life 2 is learnable by the Red Wizard.
Now, unfortunately, while we did see Life 2 here, we did not see Nuke. So Nuke is 7 or higher. Only the Black Mages are probably going to have access to it and get charges to work with it. So we're going to have to come up with plans for winning the game that don't involve Nuke.
Now, I will say Avos has a better shot of getting more charges because he's running a 3-person party.
Yep.
Because it only requires level 20 for that Black Wizard to be able to cast.
Come on. Go into no. He skips the Gaia Black Shop, which has the black slot that's learnable both by the Black Mage and the Red Wizard. If Nuke had been there.
Yeah, that's. Easy to forget.
Black Knight going with the same strats, trying to deliver the herb via aerial delivery. Maybe the prince ordered it overnight, but then he rang the doorbell and the prince was still sleeping.
So the Tiny Fairy gave us the power bonk. That's what we were talking about, especially with Nuke high level. We potentially could use it. It's probably maybe a little more useful for Avos with a 3-person party. Black Knight rocking out 4. We can cast out 3 tempers very quickly.
Yeah, that's provided that those are the spells that he picks. I don't think either runner fully fleshed out their level 4 magic slots yet, and there was probably 5 to 6 good red mage spells and 4 good black mage spells, so hopefully they know the power of temper and all of them prioritize it for all their casters.
I think that's actually kind of interesting. Oh, there's a ruby, so that gives us the incentivized Titan's Trove. I think that's actually kind of smart of them not to just instantly choose all your things. Maybe choose a couple or 1 spell or something like that, and then all depending on how the seed kind of progresses, then you can come back. I know it sucks to double dip, but with so many good, low-level magic at level 4, the mid-grade magic, if you want to call it, that gives us an option.
It does. So we got Avos is landing the airship, unfortunately very far away, but this is what you have to do, and it's the vanilla intended landing spot to go to Castle of Ordeals. So we're going to make a long walk across the northern continent here, fight some Tyros on the way, and he'll be into one of our favorite dungeons. With Black Knight clearing out the Cardia chests, there are 13 up here that are super free to pick up right after you get in the air. When you find a loose here, you're just like, dang, I didn't have to do anything. I didn't have to try, but we did not find a loose item here, alas.
A lot of people forget about, or, kind of hold off on Cardia Isles, and then they kind of forget, and I think both of them are going to go, both are going to Ordeals.
Yeah, makes sense. Ordeals doesn't take a whole lot of effort to get through. Now, in their cases, I would have maybe liked to have seen them wait for a couple warp charges on the black mages, because that's just going to save you from some of the worst possible pillar layouts where it's like, finally, I got to the 4th fork, and it sends you back to the beginning.
Yes, the zonk back to the beginning is the worst. Especially when 2 of them are after you do all the divides and you get to where Avos was just at, where there's a 4 option, and he got sent back in the first teleporter.
Yeah, this random layout here, fortunately, a couple of the forks out of the way immediately, so three teleports in were already at the 3rd fork, so that setback wasn't too big for Avos. But this is one of the more, I think, frustrating things for new players to the randomizer. Like, you get used to vanilla and it just being trivial to walk through here, and suddenly it becomes a puzzle in rando.
Up 2. Nope. Oh, yeah,
Oh, that looked like it. I think Avos might be through. He's just got a linear path from here. Nice. We got, oh yeah, go ahead.
Oh no, I was just saying, sea snakes. And they got, oh no!
Stone touch.
It's a good thing they only have 1 hit, but they rolled high. 266 does not kill them. This could be a problem for Temple of Fiends Revisited of sorts.
Oh, that was, so that one that had taken the 266 took another 125 and lived, so they rolled up in the 400 plus range. We'll see those in Sea Shrine and in Temple of Fiends Revisited, as you were saying.
Yeah, and they're known as the Seafood Party Player. I mean, you can roll like 6 of those things sometimes. I mean, I know it's not like a great chance to hit, but our MDF doesn't get good enough with this party until, what, 30s? And that's a decent chance of resisting? I mean, we're not a black belt. I guess the knight might have a chance at that level, but... So both of them are through. Black Knight's actually going to take his first chance at these. And there's the tail that Cheese Natter was just mentioning, that we needed the promotion to use these sweet, sweet weapons we have.
Yep.
Avos.
And in its vanilla location. There's the whole thematic thing around how you must go through this ordeal in the Temple of Ordeals to get your tail, your rat's tail, that's sort of your symbol of, like, you've slain the beast. This is your symbol of courage to take to Bahamut, the king of the dragons, and earn your promotion to the upper classes. So Avos and Black Knight both going to be able to start equipping that great gear and get that promotion locked to life 2.
And some of those spells were not... I mean, it's not terribly good for the knight, but they weren't terribly bad either, so...
Om nom nom. Avos gonna eat a sandwich.
Darn you, Caleb. Everybody calls those sandwiches now.
I got it from Edgeworth. I don't know about Caleb.
Oh, really? Oh, okay. Maybe we all got it from Edge. The man, the myth, the legend, Edge himself.
Yeah, 2018 Spring Tournament champion.
Sitting in his ivory tower looking over us saying, "You guys having fun?" Actually, he's over in Crescent.
All right. So Avos officially does the class promotion here. The tail of the rat proves your courage. So all the sprites looks like they got just a little bit taller. And speaking of tall things, that's a T-Rex. Black Knight pulls the Encounter 8 on the desert there. That looks a little bit scary. So T-Rexes have tons of HP, tons of attack, but also tons of experience. Really good fight if you can take it down, especially if it rolls low, which it's looking about average so far. Might take another 200 or 300 to kill this thing off.
Man, that thing rolled. Oh.
That's super beefy. Yeah, you can't fight multiples of those, but 7,200 experience in vanilla. Then you divide that by 4 for 4 light warriors, add in our key item scaling, and you still get something pretty sizable for everyone. Rankelos. Ugh. Ugh. Gross. Run.
Anytime you... Oh my gosh, look at that crit. Oh, no. Black Knight cannot catch a break. He gets good experience.
He loses his... right. Yeah, exactly. That's... Rankelos just... They hit so darn hard, and they're usually come in packs of 4, and when you least expect it. So, very easy pack to wipe, too.
And they... I mean... I think every runner, whenever they run into red Anklos, they're like, "Please be gentle. Please be gentle."
Yeah, or please get turn order and run. Yeah, so Black Knight, I think when he watches this run back, no matter the outcome, he's going to learn some more of the value of buying a lot of save items. Especially once you have the money, don't hold out. Just stack up, get a couple dozen, and save on the overworld frequently. That will prevent you so many just head-scratching issues.
Okay, Avos is going to go here. Both of our runners haven't bought the cube yet, so hopefully they remember to keep track, or keep notes. That is in Crescent for max gold, just about.
Alright, looks like Black Knight's already going with a Vorpal on the Knight, Flame Sword, Ice Sword setup on the Red Wizards. Vorpal, it's pretty good to adventure with. It's certainly not the worst. You're not going to get consistent DPS out of it, though. You might even want to use the defense just for a little while against sort of regular enemies.
Yeah, I mean, that's actually kind of one of the questions I was going to ask you, too, is defense or Vorpal on trash mobs? Because, I mean, I know it's kind of a time waster to have to, you know, constantly change your weapon loadout, but I think the Vorpal for the Fiends, at least for Kraken and Tiamat for sure, and then the Defense Sword for Carry and Lich, I would think.
Yeah, yeah, maybe Vorpal just in the in the end of Sky as well, because there's some high absorb and high evade enemies up there, and the chance to run into Warmech. But defense, the big thing that defense brings over Vorpal in just sort of this middle portion of the game is that it's got a lot higher hit percentage. So you get to that extra hit faster, and more hits in the part of the game where enemies don't have very high absorb is the most valuable thing.
Oh, yeah, and that's one of the tricky things for the runners too is knowing those hit break points where you get that extra hit, because sometimes you know, between like Xcal and Masa, you know, maybe between that 18 and 23, Xcal could be the better option over Masa because of same hits with the added, the added bonus damage.
Yep. And so relevant numbers here, the Vorpal will get its 4th hit at 22, whereas the defense gets its 4th hit at 18. So a lot more accessible there on the defense.
Right. Which ironically is the same hit as Xcal.
Yep.
With the defense,
defense is just kind of a... It's even got a similar color palette too, so defense is just kind of a more noodly version of the Xcal.
Going back to Elfland for Black Knight might be... Oh, getting spells for the Knight. Okay.
Yeah, what did we have here at the level 3? We had Exit and Invis 2. Okay, Invis 2 on the Knight, that's helpful. You can have 3 Invis 2 casters, 4 if you find the white shirt, which can actually stack you up so fast Kraken won't even have a chance to punch out anybody. However, that was the only thing he did. He stopped in. Oof, damage poison 1 step outside when he's trying to get on his airship.
Talk about unlucky. Oh my gosh.
However, it sent him back into the town. Is this going to influence him to go to that level 4 shop, make sure he's got his magic all tuned up? No.
But we are promoted. That Life 2. Will our runners remember about Melmon? Life 2 is Red Wizard locked.
Well, he's remembering Crescent. That's good. Gonna pick up his required cube for max price here. Or just pass it by. Did you buy it, Black Knight? Please tell me you bought it.
He's buying Fade. Okay. He still has money to buy.
If he buys another expensive spell, he's not actually gonna have money for it. Yep, can't learn that.
Thank goodness there's nothing good else at level... No, Black Knight, go back.
This could be rough. If he straight up forgot about it, and he maybe miscounts the loose items and checks, I don't know, every chest in the game. We've seen it happen when people don't get the shop item. It turns into a full clear.
But he is picking Life 2 up, so that's okay. And there's our rod, so we're a loot away from Go mode for Avos. Or no, well,
yep.
No mode, I should say, because he hasn't bought the cube yet.
That's interesting. Avos just ducked away, didn't pick up a Sun Sword, couldn't fit it in his inventory. I would absolutely love to have a Sun Sword on that Red Mage, or Red Wizard rather, instead of the Vorpal, because the Red Wizard doesn't hit a lot, so you're never critting. Whereas Sun Sword high base damage would be good against all the undead in the game.
That would be, yeah. Okay, so we have the Ruby, so that's our last incentive check, I believe. And that's going to be... Ooh, Zap, okay.
So, yeah, I mean, Fire 3, it's expensive, not that worth. Black Mages get charges at level 20, so you're going to have a few casts, but not the spell we're looking for. We need Nuke. And I don't know if anyone's been into the Black Shop in Gaia yet, which is sort of our last best chance.
No, Avos walked right past it. Let's see what Danny says. Any level 7? Nope, haven't seen it besides the Zap, so nope. And...
Alright, so this is turning into a Sea Shrine clear. Has Avos been to Lefane? He hasn't. I don't see a translated slab on the tracker, and I don't think I've seen anyone make that walk to Lefane. If that has our loot, we wouldn't need to open another box, but Avos opting into C now means he's either going to be orphaning potential loose loots, or full clearing when he doesn't need to.
Who's Ruby? Lefane was Ruby.
Oh, it was.
Yep.
Wait. Does that mean we already know we have a loose loot?
No. Nobody has done the Titan's Trove.
Oh. That's interesting. That's something that you don't often forget to do because it is a pretty accessible check once you have Ruby in hand.
Yeah, well, they kind of forgot about it because they went over there and then they did ordeals. So I think they just kind of forgot. And is it go mode? Is he gonna take the chance? Just do this. Hope that the Ruby is the.
Yeah, I mean, it's a 50-50 now. But speaking of things we must do, Black Knight must kill Carrie, has already full cleared Volcano, coming all the way back down here to take care of business. Heal potting off some of that lava damage. Shouldn't need too much HP to get through Carrie, has way more resources and HP and offense than at the beginning of the game, and as Avos showed, Carrie rolled real low.
Yeah. It didn't really hit too bad, especially sea snakes.
And what do the lobsters have today? 3 hits, but not much damage, not critting. Okay, that's actually among the safer of lobsters that I've seen. That's a pack that always instills fear into my heart.
It's every runner I think honestly has at least one enemy that they're really terrified about, and then you always have like the lobsters, the gargoyles, who are kind of the generic. Oh God, what did they roll today?
Yep. Yeah, I think the common factor between those two is the big packs that they show up in and the fact that they have multiple hits. So anything they've got is multiplied if it's bad.
Oh, the 3. Very nice. Avos onto Kraken's floor, trying to light his second orb. Black Knight's trying to catch up. Diving down to Volcano's already cleared, exited out earlier. We knew Carrie after Avos had already it defeated Carrie was relatively easy, so this should be a really quick battle here for Black Knight. Where does he go from here?
Hopefully to get his cube, as we've been saying. But beyond that, we're coming down to, we'll know really soon whether or not Black Knight has a real chance to catch up. If Avos is right, gambling that he doesn't need the loose item and the loot comes off the Ruby, Avos has a commanding lead. If he orphaned it here even, Black Knight has a chance in a much, much longer seed that will go on for a while, because finding a loose loot is heck, to catch up.
Poison Touch Kraken. We'd much rather have Poison Touch over any of the other touches, except for the Dark Touch.
I like Avos' strategy here. Put the Knight in the top slot. Not necessarily what you need to win, but what you need to tank your hits while you're breaking to break Kraken into pieces, just like that.
So, 2 orb advantage for Avos at the moment. Black Knight's trying to take on Carrie here. Considering his options, 3 of his characters are under 100. This could spell troubles.
Okay, I like the temper coming out on the Knight here. That's going to massively increase how much damage you can do. Everyone's going to wipe to this Blizzard except the Knight, but we're fine, I think. Oh yeah, look at that. 6 hits, 651. Vorpal showing what Vorpal does.
That was a very nice Vorpal end. Black Knight, if you're watching here, if you park in that left-hand corner of the Volcano, once you exit out of Volcano from beating Carrie, you're teleported right there. You don't have to make any extra steps.
So, I know we've got some people in the community. Wait, hang on. I'm going to save this thought. It's a fun thought, but I'm going to save it because in just a couple of seconds, Avos is going to tell us some very important information. Okay, we've fed the rocks to the Titan. Just nom nom. Get those minerals in your diet. Get that 3rd ribbon. Oof. Oh no! It's loose loot. Oh boy! Buckle in, everyone.
It could be anywhere.
Yep. Loot is required to warp into the past from the Temple of Fiends Revisited. That means that it can be anywhere outside of the Temple of Fiends Revisited, which is all 180 some odd chests. Good luck, it could be in Marsh Keylocks, it could be at the very top of Sky Castle, it could be in Mermaids, it could be in chests Avos walked past in Left Side Sea. Shrug emoji?
Right? Yeah. Yeah, because he go-moded Crack Inside. I mean, he checked a couple of them, but he, bypassed a lot of the Sharknado room stuff. And he missed all of the mermaid side of stuff.
Yep, this in Rando is what you call a gamble. Now, will it pay off or will it be his downfall? You can still, like, for example, he's in Earth now. So let's say he full clears Earth and finds loot pretty early on. He's in great shape because Earth is one of the last dungeons most runners will clear looking for loose items when they're in the air already. However, if it's in sea, if it's anywhere in sea, even if it's in Mermaids, Black Knight's going to get a major edge.
And especially since Black Knight has grabbed the cube, he is, he's got it. Avos hasn't bought the cube yet. So hopefully he remembers he hasn't, bought the shop item yet. Or else he could be searching a lot of different stuff here. And Black Knight's going Mermaid side first. So this, as you said, this could be a huge thing for Black Knight here.
Yeah, and we still haven't found the strongest weapon in the game, the one that you have to wend your way through to the bottom right of Tiamat 2's floor to get in vanilla, just so you can use it on Chaos. And it's right there! Hello!
Are you a prophet or something? Because I swear that's the second time you've, mentioned something in this game, and it's popped up.
What a pickup. Oh my goodness. Maza, you pretty much ride that all the way to the end without even having to switch to Vorpal. Some people will still switch to Vorpal on Chaos for safety based on the stat roll, but Maza's going to get the job done in just about any role in this percentage of scaling.
Now, one difference, Black Knight hasn't done the slab translation, doesn't have the ruby, which leads to a ribbon and the Thor hammer. More so, the ribbon is the important part.
Yeah, Thor hammer does speed up your clear, though, in this dungeon, being something the knight can cast that's effective against water enemies.
Pro ring. I don't think we've seen many of our runners buy pro rings, so that, wow, 2 pro rings. Okay.
As soon as you start talking about something that happens in the seed, that's where we're at.
And we found ice armor, so the knight's carrying some decent armor now.
Yeah, that's a big upgrade. Armor. Yes, ice from silver. That's 16 more absorb. Heads up, though, remembering that the silver armor is an upgrade for his second red mage there. And even more heads up, the silver gauntlet. You don't often see silver gauntlets equipped on anyone in the rando, let alone red wizards. But red wizards can wear 3 of the gauntlets after promotion: silver, power, and Zeus.
I mean, having any absorb on your casters is amazing. And that's as you said, that's a great heads up play there, because I have to admit, I would not have thought to put a silver gauntlet on there, but I definitely would have paid a lot of money for any pro rings available on them instantly.
Ooh, Avos giving him the cake here in the Earth Cave, which is very thematic. It makes sense. You're down underground here, using an Earth type spell in the Earth Cave. As long as the whole system doesn't collapse on top of you, you're in good shape.
So, would you say Avos is slightly sweating right now? Knows that he skipped a couple chests in Sharknado, and now is forced to full clear Earth because the 50-50 chance didn't work?
Yeah, I think it depends, actually. Your mindset's going to be different depending on how much rando you've seen and played, and I know Avos is a little newer. For folks like us, we'd be like, oh god, orphan chest, we know what the worst case scenario is. He might not be thinking about the worst case scenario. Optimism might still carry the day.
I mean, he's got Xcal, so it's not. I mean, he's got Xcal and he's got the Vorpal. So those weapons plus a 3-person party, I think he's fine unless something rolls like really, really horrible or something like that. But you know, that Masa pickup by Black Knight. I mean, Masa with 3 temper casters. That Masa is going to be massive quick.
Yeah, it'll get the job done. Alright, so Avos is going to have the Vampire chest here for 1, and then 8 more on the following floor. So 9 more possible checks in Earth Cave. Black Knight's going to pick up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 chests that that Avos didn't see on the second to last floor of C here. And then there's a ton that neither have seen, like all of Sky, Sky, Sky.
Yep. I mean, that's one good thing I think for Avos is if it's in Earth, Black Knight's more than likely going to go here after clearing Mirage and the floating castle. If it's not here, obviously he's losing time. But that really kind of depends on where Black Knight goes after Sea Shrine.
Avos is actually in one of my favorite little rooms in the game, personally. It's got a special place for me because there are 2 kind of secret grind tiles there that not a lot of people take advantage of, but I've taken more than 1 black belt to 42 in that very room.
Rock goals are randomly found here. Asher, look away. They were not your friend.
Yeah, I think Black Knight's just a pretty big Dragon Quest fan overall. I know he's got a lot of those Dragon Quest sprites swapped in there, and they've been pretty thematic so far, not too confusing. Rock goals are literally stone golems from Dragon Quest.
Oh. Cheeky play here by Black Knight. I think we missed it. Unless he doesn't have any softs, he's not softing the red wizard.
Oh. Alright, does he have softs? He's not menuing, and I'm pretty sure he wants that Black Wizard up, so at this point I think it's out of necessity.
Oh, kill that sea snake as fast as possible. Target that sea snake. Kill it, Black Knight.
Ooh, Sea Snake's gonna live another round. It's got all the HP.
Well, it did have all that HP.
Yeah, the Maza is like the one thing in the game right now that's gonna just take out that high HP Sea Snake in one hit.
Sea Snake, meet Masa. Masa meets Sea Snake. Bye, Sea Snake.
So he can absolutely beat this dungeon with just 2 characters up. So as long as he doesn't get stoned again, he's in decent shape. Avos, meanwhile, down to 3 more checks in Earth Cave before he's got to start thinking about a full clear of Sky or maybe a visit to Marsh Keylocks.
I'm surprised he doesn't have that power the power gauntlet on his knight right now. He's got 3 ribbons. All 3 of his characters can wear a ribbon. You don't need a pro ring on it anymore.
Some people don't think to move the power gauntlet until like TOFR basically, because to be fair, it's not something you use a lot before then in most seeds. And as chat points out, bottom left side of Earth Cave there, we did find a Bane Sword. Bane Sword gonna help give us a few more insta-kill chances on Tiamat 1, since we're already past Kraken 1.
And it's also kind of a last-ditch resort if we absolutely have to. Not saying it's going to be possible with these, you know, how high the bosses can go, but Cure 4 on a quick spell-casting fiend could be useful.
Ooh! Avos must know who's commentating this race because he just gave Lich the cake.
Oh, Avos, you are my hero already.
That's
I'm already
really
in
good
favor.
advice for Lich 1, especially if you come in there at a low level with without much magic. That's a high percent to hit. That's like 38% right there.
And people are telling me wow, Black Knight didn't take on
He
Kraken?
dipped out.
He
Yeah,
dipped
he
out.
was scared about either wiping with just 2 Light Warriors from the boss or the idea of getting stoned again by sea snakes. So now, with having to double dip Sea Shrine anyways, he's automatically adding more time back to this run. That's going to be hard to make up because Avos doesn't have a lot left to clear either. They're both likely to run into that loot in Sky. We know Avos didn't orphan it in Sea.
Nuke in the first slot in Gaia, available for the Red Wizard. Only downside, Red Wizards can't cast him until 26.
Yeah, that's great magic. He's gonna probably end up getting a couple charges on the Black Mage and maybe like 1 charge at most on one of those Red mages. Avos, are you going back? Are you gonna check the shop? Nope, straight into Sky. So Avos, who really has a chance to cast multiple copies of Nuke, gonna miss out on the best AoE in the game.
Yeah, because he's Avos is probably going to be the one with the best chance to cast it multiple times. And there's the power bomb for Black Knight.
Yeah, now that he's through Sea Shrine, he doesn't need to be able to spam that lightning spell necessarily, so he's going to go ahead and equip the Power Gauntlet in that armor slot instead. Armor slots get pretty competitive late in the game after promotion if you want to hold on to casting gear.
Right.
Avos double checks his inventory just in case he'd wanted that Opal Shield, but his knight was already well situated. Sees a katana, but neither runner has a thief, so nobody's going to be packing that best crit weapon in the game.
Yeah, for the question in chat, where was the cube? It was max price in Crescent. Just hanging out there. Avos, he's bought it, so.
Avos definitely has it. Our tracker shows it, and there it is, in fact, in Black Knight's inventory. So we're both good on vendor item, and we're both going to Sky. So, odds are we run into that loose here, and Avos, regardless of the difference in time between when they find the loot, has the commanding lead thanks to having 2 more orbs lit.
Yeah, because Black Knight, unfortunately, the Sea Snakes with Stone Touch kind of terrified the Black Knight out of Sea Shrine, unfortunately. Which, unfortunately, that's the second time he's kind of been chased out of a Fiend dungeon, and that time is kind of hurting him on top of those unfortunate wipes. I mean, I don't want to highlight it, but unfortunately, that's kind of what's going on here. What the big difference is. Black Knight's done a lot of plays to catch up. It's just those small little things, unfortunately, have really been hampering him.
Alright, less than greater than. What do you got for us? There's really not much we need besides the loose item with all the elite gear we've already found.
Right? It's like a rich robber just kind of coming through. No. I don't need that. No. And Logic asking or saying, nope, nobody has dived marsh at all. We had the early canoe and an early canal, which was in, where was it? That was over in ice, wasn't it?
Yeah, that's right. Sorry, Canal was in Volcano, but Canoe came early, so no excuse to go to Marsh in the early game unless you wanted to sort of pre-gamble. Some players gamble early in the game when they feel outmatched, but often the idea of gambling is for a way to catch up when you feel behind later. So if anyone was going to go to Marsh after C, it would have been Black Knight, but he landed on Sky, same as Avos, so no chance to catch up if the loot's in Marsh.
If it was in Marsh, the play could have been when they did Astos, because Avos was able to defeat it because he casted a lot more Fire 2s instead of trying instant deaths to go into Marsh. If that's where it's at, holy, what a Galaxy Bird play that is to just do it. Or a gamble, if you want to call it.
Yep, having seen my fair share of loose loots in Marsh, I don't wish it on anyone. It certainly makes the race longer, makes the broadcast longer to see runners full clear the game, but that might be what we're getting. So, hope you're all buckled in, ready for a long ride.
I mean, the good news is, it kind of helps Black Knight here. He's getting some levels because he's got it clear. Avos is obviously getting levels that he needs. With a 3-person party, you're relying upon not having that extra the meat shield. And we're being rated by Speed Gaming 3, so welcome to the 2020 Final Fantasy Spring Tournament, Monte Chaos's Casino. I am Dangwoo. Cheese Nader is in here hanging out with me along with Danny3883. Welcome, and I hope you enjoy it.
Yeah, big raid coming in. That 141 people. Hopefully, I'll stick around. If you haven't played this randomizer before, it's a great one. It's got just all kinds of improvements from vanilla. It's sped up. The bugs are fixed. It's Final Fantasy the way it should have been, and you can come join us by checking out FinalFantasyRandomizer.com.
And if you're wondering what's going on right now, we are looking for the loose loot. That is what preventing our runners from going into go mode and basically being able to take out the fiends, light their crystals, and be able to take on chaos eventually. So we're waiting for that loose guitar that usually in the original game the princess would hand to us at the very beginning.
All right, so we've got the left bank of chests covered. I think if Avos went right first, we've got these ones covered too. So it's not on Sky 1. So the floors tick away. Also, shoutouts to Black Knight running the original Beholder sprite from the Japanese version for his eye enemy, which is something I do as well. Just really like the shape of that sprite. It's very round and happy.
It really does. It has like that little And the bad men looks like they're just taking a bunch of spell shots, which is usually what they're good for when you don't have a nuke spell.
And what is it with the Badman pack and rolling unrunnable? Like, I swear, I have the worst luck with this.
The Temple of Fiends, where they roll up to like 9 of them, it's the worst. Oh, Aegis Shield.
Yeah, because Black Knight's still only on one ribbon, that Aegis Shield helps out. If he wanted to move the ribbon off of his knight and onto that red wizard, one of the red wizards that has life, I think he'd be in a better overall survivability situation. Especially if he runs into Warmech on the Bridge of Destiny and maybe a Bane comes out.
Our runners high five, and it looked like Black Knight actually hit A where Avos was. That was kind of funny.
Oh my god, screen sync at 1:35. How often does that happen?
Are you one of these? Are you one of the runners where you would bypass this floor and do Guide 3?
Absolutely, yeah. There are a lot of ways, and it's hard to say exactly what's optimal, but when you have Warp available, which was level 6 in Black Magic in this game, it's pretty quick to go do your Sky 3, more chest dense, chests clustered together, checks first, and then come back. You end up wasting maybe a couple of steps, but in exchange for getting more information faster.
This is the original white shirt, black shirt location Avos is in, and nothing too fantastic that we need at this point, except for that flame armor.
Yeah, that was Avos' first upgrade to a nice hefty knight armor. Going from iron to flame, that's 24 to 34 absorb and a big evasion increase.
Yeah, I forgot that he had an upgrade after I was Black Knight that had gotten the ice armor. I was like, he doesn't need that. Clearly he did. Oh.
Okay, so Black Knight's got the clockwise clear going on, which is not something you see often, and that's like a French vanilla pro cape. There are 2 pro capes. No, there's 1 pro cape in Sky in vanilla, the other one being on Carrie's floor.
They've just got an encounter in the same tile, same.
What's funny though is they're on different encounter table or different parts of the encounter table. They came in and cleared from the bottom up in slightly different order, so that's especially coincidental.
You don't normally see this. This is the reason why or at least I'm having a good time with this.
Yeah, I'm happy. You're happy. The eye's happy.
The eye is really happy. It's really creepy. Alright, Black Knight, you need to hit the gas pedal here. You still have to go through the sea shrine here because you got knocked out of it. You got chased away.
Now, it is good that Black Knight's here before Earth. If he had strictly followed in Avos' footsteps, he would have full cleared Earth and been extra behind. If he can match the loot timing, then, you know, clearing out the Earth Orb and the Water Orb, that's about 8 minutes total, so Black Knight could pull within about a TOFR wipe of Avos and keep things competitive, assuming both runners get through the skydive okay.
I think the big difference right now is the fact that with the 3-person party Avos has, he's got nuke charges. So if he runs into Mancats, he can clear it with nuke. Now, Black Knight does have Fade, but he's not going to have a whole lot of charges because Red Mage is... Actually, I don't think he has it yet. He's got to get to level 20.
I think wasn't it the other way around, that Avos went to Gaia, skipped the black magic, and Black Knight actually went there?
Yes, you're right. I forgot that he didn't actually go there yet.
But I would like to see someone's magic screen just to kind of verify what we're working with.
Yeah, because both these runners have been doing a weird pattern, and it's been kind of throwing me off here. Yeah, because Black Knight's got the nuke.
No charges, but it'll be nice to have as he gets a couple more levels up here. He'll come out and have it for his last dungeon clears. Meanwhile, it's looking like it's not going to be in Sky. We're about to get those greed chests in on the left side. Oh, great levels for Avos, 27 across the board. You do love to see that.
Oh yeah, that's so many nuke charges we have now. A lot more than any of us would have thought.
Well, that he should have. That's the sadly ironic part. First of all, no loot in Sky, so we're going Marsh Friends. Second of all, the character or the player who should have tons of nukes because he's got the levels didn't buy it, but the character that's like level 20 across the board is can't
get. He's got Zap though. Yeah. So with the XKL, right, so 2 more levels, the Knight gets the 5th swing.
Yeah, so for anyone watching in chat who's also playing in this tournament, if you're maybe a little bit newer to the game, I know we all hate Marsh, I know it's just the worst place to go, you hate to go early, but if you feel outmatched, if you feel like you might not have a chance against your opponent, and you want a gamble that could pay off, go to Marsh early, even if you already have the canoe. You could find something that catapults you into the lead.
I mean, I'm trying to think of anything that he might have missed, but I believe through all of our runners, we've checked everything except for Marsh.
these elemental casino sprites Avos is showing off here. This is really thematic for the whole tournament theme. Obviously, you can see on the background we've got the odd even board. So shout outs to that. Question from chat from C Coyote: if you're Avos, would you go to Marsh first or check mermaids? I think a veteran rando runner would know to continue to push their skip and commit to it, because a location in mermaids would already have been so bad for you that you have to hope it's in a place you haven't checked yet. But I can't speak for what Avos will do.
Yeah, I think you bring up a good point there, and I think it's also recent history and how bad of luck you've had with things where, you know, if it eats away enough at you, you might go back. But as you said, though, a veteran runner is somebody who's, you know, can keep a non-tilted mind, will try and keep going ahead.
Yep. And so we got the fourth orb fiend pull here for Avos already. This is Tiamat, who has 1,000 HP in vanilla and can have some pretty scary stats. But we're in good shape, levels and magic-wise here. Throwing out those breaks, that's about a 25% chance to hit. Really would speed up the fight if one of those lands, because Tia 1 can have over 2,000 HP. We also did not see a Warmech fight on the Bridge of Destiny for Avos, but you should get out your Bless RNGs for Black Knight. Oh, who's almost across the bridge with no Warmech either.
Wow. So many Brax have missed. Oh, wow.
He's got that Bane Sword from Earth. Who's it on?
He's been swinging with the Xcal. He's been trying to cast. This teammate hasn't gone down yet.
Yeah, no temper in the inventory there for that Black Mage, so is casting these spells, which it's chip damage, but boy, if we could have tempered out that Xcal, we'd be in better shape. Alright, come on. No, send out the... No, not Zap. Bane. Bane's 15%er. You know Tiamat's weak to Stone Poison Element. Yo. Takes it down anyways, though. So that's 4 orbs lit for Avos at the 144 mark. Just needs to clear out Marsh, and he will be in go mode.
And a completely different way of fighting here. On the right-hand side by Black Knight, we have fast, tempers, bonks, all being thrown out here. This knight with Masa is going to be swinging very fast and very hard. Just not on this turn.
Yeah, Avos is playing, or sorry, Black Knight is playing this more like a Tier 2 fight almost. So much more strict about setting up the buffs, putting the knight in the back row, this kind of stuff, while still getting out those Banes for the shot at the insta-kill.
And there's our answer. Avos left those chests, ate at him, and he went back for it. He said, I'm not going to Marsh.
Okay, this is now Black Knight's chance. Black Knight goes to Marsh, gets the loot, assuming he doesn't go Earth first. Please don't go Earth. He can get his loot, catch back up, take care of those fiends he hasn't killed yet, which includes going to where Avos is right now to revisit the Kraken fight. You know, I think this is going to come down to maybe about a 6 to 8 minute gap and a potential Topher wipe.
So, Black Knight apparently still has to do Waterfall still. He's got to do the rod.
Oh, goodness. Wow, yeah. That's, so he hasn't even... He's been to that continent, yet didn't do... Oof. Alright, yeah, Black Knight kind of... leaving things behind all over the place, including the remains of the Queen of the Dragons right there. Lights his second orb.
So yeah, unless we missed... Yeah, I don't see the rod in there. Uh-oh.
Yeah, so that's another lesson, I think, to take away for anyone watching who's still working on this, either very new to the rando or looking to improve in races, is just don't leave things behind. Try and finish dungeons completely in one go, unless you have very good information to do so otherwise. because you're seeing Avos have to revisit to check chests, and you're going to see Black Knight have to revisit to do the Fiend, and also check out the waterfall next door, which he had put off for some reason.
So Black Knight over. So while Black Knight's here doing the little feignish, which leads to a ruby, which leads to Thor's hammer. For anybody out there who does not know, we have 3 races tomorrow. Groggy Dog versus Cow Subalu. The matchup of 1-1s. That will be on SG at 6 o'clock. 6 p.m. We have a high-profile match, High Spirits versus Specty, at 7 o'clock, 7 p.m. Eastern Time. That will be on SG. And then we also have the old-time Silver Fire, or old school if you want to call it, up against the new school Grandylicious, who's been rocking the two-party Fighter Black Mage. So all 3 of those are going to be very spicy, and that Silver Fire Grandylicious is going to be at 9 o'clock. And I'm not going to lie, all 3 of those are going to be very interesting. Groggy Dog and Cow Subalu were both in the Duckling program and raced against each other in the 2021. High Spirits and Specty, well, both really good runners. And Silver Fire, like I said, old school versus the new up-and-comer that's trying to prove that a 2-person party, even with a newer player, is really good. And based on what I've seen, and I think you've watched a couple too, Cheese, I would say he's got a pretty good mindset for that 2-party system.
Oh, absolutely. But bringing it back to the action of this run, we've got the second ribbon coming in for Black Knight in that Titan's Trove, really easy to grab. If 1 ribbon in Topher is safe, then 2 ribbons is like belt and suspenders. Your pants never falling off.
It's such a great... That's so good. Oh, it's so good. You know, when you have a knight with a ribbon that has life, you're like, you know what? I feel pretty safe. But when you don't have life available to that knight, and you get a second ribbon, you're like, I can take on the world still. Let's go.
Yeah. And the next thing Black Knight will take on will be his Kraken fight. He's already cleared every chest in this dungeon, just needs to run down to the boss, so hopefully get some good luck with the encounters and make short work of it. I think from top to bottom here, if you don't have to check chests, it's about 3 to 4 minutes. And yeah, he's going to slowly start creeping up, but it's really going to matter whether he goes to Earth or Marsh after this, whether he has a chance.
I mean, Black Knight's, what, level 20-ish? I think he just hit around 20, so he's still pretty... He still has to worry about those sea snakes. Sea trolls with blaze. Oh, nice. I mean, it's a good thing the sea snakes didn't roll more than 1 hit.
Yeah, all things considered, the Sea Shrine is not bad except for the Sea Snake touch effects. It would honestly be worth... So Avos has enough levels, like more than enough already. It would honestly be worth bringing up that second Black Mage just for the odds of having 1 more character to get through this dive alive.
Yeah. No, especially if you're going to run into these unrunnables, why not level them up? I mean, having an extra temper caster or fast caster that's sacrificial or whatever you want to call it, I mean, why not?
Yeah. Now, once you get into the high 20s on a 3-person party, you're already looking at your 5th hit on Xcal, and of course with a full clear of C, you're looking at your 5th hit on Maza already. You don't really need much extra in the way of levels. I think leveling to 30 and beyond on a knight, it's super safe, but it's more of a way to compensate for missing certain other pieces of gear, certain spells. We've full cleared the game. We got all the gear.
Yeah, yeah, that's what it is. Oh, hello, Red Anklo. Bye, Red Anklo. Yeah, I mean, we wanted the levels because we only had the Xcal, so it made sense for Avos to try to get to 29 if you're able to. Go for that 5th hit. But we got the Masa now. We don't really need all these levels as much now.
I gotta say though, just based on these runners' decisions, it's very fateful that they both ended up crisscrossing in a lot of these late dungeons despite different routes and despite leaving different things behind. Like, how often does this happen? One runner is in his second Sea Shrine dive just to kill the boss, the other one's in second Sea Shrine dive just to finish the chests.
I haven't seen 2 runners crisscross at a dungeon this much ever. It's kind of weird.
Yeah, they were in Volcano at the same time. They were in Air at the same time. They've been in Sea at the same time, maybe twice now. I don't remember exactly how they lined up earlier. Avos, yeah, mermaids. Mermaids time.
I thought he already did it.
Nah, he went left first.
But that crack.
Yeah, we got an Ultra Sprite over here on Black Knight's side. Shoutouts to Final Fantasy VI.
And I think Avos going to Marsh. Oh yeah, he's going.
Alright, cool. So, yeah, this is going to give us our last bit of information. There are 13 chests in Marsh, 3 of them locked by the key on the bottom floor. Going to check the top first because it's quicker, but the bottom is more chest dense.
This is a chance for Black Knight. So, oh no, he's still got to do Waterfall because he's got to get the rod.
Yeah, he's got to do Waterfall.
I think he's going to do Earth. Honestly, I think once you get the rod there, I think he's going to say, I got to go Earth.
Oh no, yeah. So, and even because Avos's levels are so good, it's going to be hard to wipe in TOFR. So the ways for Black Knight to come back into this are starting to really dwindle.
I mean, if he can get through this really quickly, get out. Maybe if the robot's right at that entrance, he only has to talk to it. But then you still have to. I mean, no, you have to go through. You have to check those chests if you're Black Knight. You have to.
Yep. Oh, the Dragon Armor's been sitting here the whole time. So Dragon Armor doesn't do much more for us that the Opal wasn't already doing. It's more resistances. The best case for it is like you're leveling all 4 of your characters. You want them all to live. You put Dragon Armor, Pro Ring, and Aegis Shield on your Knight. You resist 5 elements. The other 3 characters get the ribbons and resist all elements. That's kind of what the vanilla run does. Ooh, look at those gas dragons. And a double raid coming in. Speed Gaming 4 bringing 58. Speed Gaming Deutsch bringing 21. Welcome, welcome. You're here at the 155 mark in a Final Fantasy Randomizer race. It is week 3, Fire Week. A 1-on-1 matchup here between Avos and Black Knight. Avos having a bit of a lead, has more explored, and has more orbs lit.
We're looking for that pesky loot. I mean, okay, so Black Knight gets out of here. Hopefully goes to Marsh. Go mode's Earth. He's about half to 3/4 of a Topher wipe away, probably.
Yeah, something like that. And ooh, white shirt. Okay, so there was some late game equipment hiding out in Marsh too. The white shirt will cast Invis 2, let anybody in the party add evasion stacks to everyone. Avos might need to check up on his Marsh Cave map here, went into a room without a chest. Okay, the key locks. Oh boy. The literal trolliest place for a loose loot in the whole randomizer. Is it going to be down in these 3, or is it going to be in the top right?
Well, you got the one next to the incentive, Marsh, and then you also have that top right room. He hasn't checked either. Oh.
And these dang bats just getting in the way the whole game here.
All right, Black Knight, go to Marsh. Don't do Earth. I know the rod says you want to go to Earth, but don't do it.
No, no, it's a trap. No.
No. I don't blame him. Oh, is he go moding it?
Oh, well, maybe. So what he probably wants to do is dig into the dungeon, do the chests that are on the way, and then come back and only do floor 1 if he needs to. That's an approach. Hey, you know, that loot in that box there, that's sometimes an incentivized location. That's what we pick for Marsh key-locked incentive in flags that have that. These flags don't have that. So, nice coincidence right there. But Avos hit go mode at the hour 58 mark. So to anyone following, if you had gotten your key early, you could have done the Galaxy Brain Marsh play, but if you came down here without the key, you would have been in just as bad a shape.
Yeah, because the key came from the volcano, so... Yeah, I don't see anybody going there from the volcano. I mean, the only one that might have done it was Black Knight, because he got wiped out of Astos multiple times and did it so late. But, I mean, that's like, you know, I don't even know what you'd call that.
Chat asking where the key was, by the way. The key was the Volcano incentive. In this game, Avos got it and left Volcano after killing Carry, while Black Knight left Volcano with just the key and left the Carry orb behind for later. But that's the past. We're in the present. We're about to go back into the past. Get ready. Avos is going to be entering the Temple of Fiends Revisited at the 1 hour 59 mark.
And he's looking good. He's taking what you said. He's resurrected that Black Mage, although we said probably should have raised it up a little bit earlier, and Damage Poison's going to send it right to nappy nap time.
Yeah, and I think you just leave it down. If you're not willing to put a ribbon on that extra character, then they're not long for this world, and you better not waste a precious Life 2 charge, because that's a level 5 spell, and Red Mages don't get level 5 magic very fast.
Unrunnable bad man.
Oh my god. It's cruel. We were just talking about this earlier.
He didn't go to the level 7. I mean, he wasn't in the area though, obviously. He kind of was, but he never went to the Gaia though. He never got nuked. Yeah,
so that's something that could make a difference. Maybe not the whole difference, but you lose a substantial amount of time in a TOFR where you could be nuking and aren't, for mobs like this, for mobs that resist elements and are unrunnable, as well as on fiends, potentially. So maybe something small, yet still in Black Knight's favor, though there's not much left for him.
Yeah, because if you're going to run a 3-person party, you're going to have charges of level 7. Even a couple charges helps to speed up things. And especially for 7,000. That nuke was 7,000. It was so cheap.
Hey, look at this vanilla business we got here. The Frost Wolves casting Frost.
Frost Wolves wasting time casting Frost.
I could honestly go for a Frosty right now. I was just talking with my friend about that yesterday.
Oh, that sounds so good right now. Black Knight actually passes a lot of check. Does he think he has loot? Because
It's
he's
either a
skipped it.
massive gamble or yeah, maybe he thinks he does. And I think I'm going to err towards the latter, just given some of the plays we've seen Black Knight make so far. It's one of the kinds of things you might do when you're a little bit inexperienced, is like lose slight track of go mode items.
I mean, at least, you know, he's not like me who tries to hit the Dark Orb and realize that I still have Earth Cave to do.
Yeah, that happens.
In a close match.
So are these Sorias unrunnable? No, they are runnable, but Avos is taking the fight anyways, even though we learned that they were high HP earlier in Ice Cave.
Oh yeah. I think they were over almost 300, I think. Or close to it.
Yep. Blink and you miss it. 4th orb down for Black Knight, 202. I think he's going to go into Temple of Fiends and he's going to bonk off of that loot plate. Or he's going to look at his inventory. He's staring at the inventory right now, doesn't see the loot missing. What's he going to do? He's going towards TFR. He's changing his mind. He knows he forgot the dwarf key locks. This is good. Now, he doesn't need the Excal that's in here, but he does need the information that these chests don't have go mode.
And our first look at Lich 2 here. Decides to cast Black, or... Okay. Red
Goodbye.
Mage with Masa, one-shots.
Yeah, both Liches were speed bumps today.
That's something you don't see very much.
Uh-oh. Black Knight, where are you going? Did you do the tee off key locks? Because if he might be checking... Yeah, he's checking those first. Oh, he's going to get some bad news real soon.
I mean, if he had gone to Marsh, I'd have been like, dang, that's some real gambles. You know, he thought, you know what? I'm going to Marsh is my gamble.
I mean, I think the only logic you can apply to what's happened and what might happen from here is he forgot he didn't have it in Earth, and now he doesn't want to go back into Earth and maybe opts to do Marsh instead as the quicker play, to not retread his steps. But meanwhile, Avos has pulled Carry too.
You know what I don't see on any of his characters, I don't think?
Temper.
Yeah.
Yeah, a little bit of maybe not writing down the magic he needs to come back to. You know, take notes, by the way, if you're newer at the rando. Memory is fallible. And so is Carry, who's just been felled by the Excal. But yeah, you got to come back for those important late game spells, even if you can't afford them early. It's worth the double dip. If you see like a 5,000 gold temper, just, it's okay to skip it, but you have to come back.
Are the dreaded 2 sea snakes with sea trolls with blaze. Not very bad because we have ribbon on all of our characters for Avos.
Yep, but the sea snakes, that's that only counts your MDEF here, so the sea snakes could end up still stoning someone.
So Lit 3 was able to cut through that weakness that they have. Does enough damage to one-round it.
Alright, we're going to see the meat shield come up into the top slot. That would be the veteran move for Avos.
Yeah, because I think that Black Mage has the white shirt too, so...
Yeah, that's kind of the best thing for a meat shield to do, is just kind of, you know, cast white shirt and pray, contribute as much as you can. Even without levels, a level 1 thief can white shirt for you. Okay, he's going to give it a Zeus Gauntlet, so it can do chip damage. Actually, I'm not sure who ended up with the Zeus Gauntlet. He's done some party shifting. Doesn't rearrange, doesn't bring to life. This is dangerous. Stack that evasion right away, or you will be in trouble, because without temper, this is going to be a long fight. Or nuke. No temper, no nuke. Going for 3 and 256 Bane strats here. Can't say I love it, but Kraken responds kindly with just a nice 3.
Yeah, he doesn't have any Invis 2. He didn't buy it on for his Red Mage.
Yeah, or the Knight. I think it was Knight Learnable. Oof! And so he's been doing defense, which is what he should be doing on the Knight, but still got cracked before that came out for 500. Needs to find a way to, Cure 4 level 1, get that Knight back to safety. Alright, everyone stays in this dimension. That's good. This is the dimension where we win the game, so it's good that we didn't leave it. Going for the 6%er Brack. Going for the punches, 2 hits, 2 damage with the Red Mage. Probably something more productive we could be trying here. But the Maza is swinging, and it's dealing real damage. 9 hits, 317. We'll get there eventually. All we have to do is survive at this point.
Lock spells? Okay.
By the way, on the right side of the screen, Black Knight in Marsh before double dipping Earth, so compensating for his mistake is gonna be rewarded. Oh! You just hate to see that. So solo mode for this Knight. Has everything it needs to win. The question is, can it?
Most heal potions looking okay, actually, considering how far we're in, but that's if waters are going to play nice. And
yeah, they're not dealing a ton. 46 looks to be about the upper bound. Going with the smart play, going to defense before trying to run. Every run is about a coin flip, and every coin flip you fail costs you like 150 HP.
He is pointing out that he should have Cure 4, so as long as he
should,
bought it.
But does he, right? Because as we've seen, Avos has been a little bit unthorough. Is that even a word? Is lacking in thoroughness with his magic purchases post-promotion.
Yeah, kind of, yeah. I mean, I think you got to take this fight at this point.
When you're max evasion, you can start flipping that coin and running. However, taking the fight will put tons of experience onto the Knight and give him a better chance, because every level you get here is MDef, Strength, and HP.
Oh, Black Knight's last checking, and he's going down to that incentive location, which is or not incentive, but
yeah, with 43 Cure 4s remaining, I think I still... Or sorry, 43 Cure 4s. 43 heal potions remaining. I think you dig into the heal pots there, because Cure 4, you can use it in battle for that burst recovery off of a nuke or something like that. Down to 3 Cure 4s, and a Knight and a Prayer. That's what we've got.
Kill the snakes.
Yeah, the snakes could... In fact, are probably the most likely things to end this dive right here.
Oh, they're missing. Oh, that 1 damage is so scary. That's all they need. Oh, no. Don't let it happen. Please, no. No, Avos. Okay.
Yeah, I think Styx has a song for this. Don't let it end. Please don't let it end, Avos.
And Black Knight is in go mode. He's going to be joining. He's probably better. No, he's missing a couple tempers, it looks like, too. I mean, had Avos had the tempers, that Kraken would have been down way before going through all that spells to get to nuke. Oh, it's lobsters.
Okay.
I would have equipped the Zeus Gauntlet at this point, I think. If I was
yeah, absolutely. We need AoE, but we also probably want defense sword up just for some safety. These lobsters aren't hitting hard, but if they crit off of one of those hits, suddenly you're taking tons of extra damage. Oh, actually, but that would get through the defense anyways, so Ican has game knowledge.
No, I mean, if the lobsters, I think, if he had knowledge of the lobsters having maybe, stronger damage or something like that, I think that's a good call. But we know lobsters are weak.
Yeah, so this race is suddenly extremely tight. Avos is in a precarious situation with just a Knight and 2 Fiends to go and a lot of trash mobs to clear. This has taken him a while. Black Knight made the heads-up recovery play, got his loot out of Marsh Keylocked, and is going into TOFR. He's going to be in at the 211 mark. Anybody's game at this point is just what I'm going to say.
And he just messed up his heal potions.
Aw.
Maybe he likes it there. I don't know. But yeah, he definitely used all of his cabins accidentally, and it moved his heal potions to down and left.
So someone in chat was calling for a reset for Avos. I don't think you do that. For starters, you have the tools to win. Second of all, he has exit. So worst case scenario, you have a living knight that you don't think you can win with for whatever reason. You can exit with the knight, go back out, keep all the experience you got, and try again.
Oh,
Oh no, but he does take the wow. Wait, did he get? I think he was at 2 stacks by that point.
Oh, it was 3. First
okay.
attack, the team hit. The first hit.
He remembered. He
hit
remembered
before.
temper. He's going.
Yeah, the first hit was just before his defense. Second one was just after, and then the third one was after whatever, and still hit again. He crit 2 out of 3 times.
Yeah, that's intense. I'm wondering what that Tia's crit rate was. That's pretty high. So Avos giving himself the best chance on this next dive, getting 3 copies of temper. Really going to help him, though. Of course, he will have to dodge a nuke, which is what ultimately did him in against Kraken. Coming here for Fade, I want to say, in the white level 6. Yeah, never mind, no Fade. All right, what else is he going to do? Is he going to recheck more magic shops? He's rechecking Melmond, which didn't have much. I think he already has life 2.
Oh, maybe he forgot life 2. I know Black Knight did it. Nope, he didn't do it.
Oh wow, that's a big upgrade. He wasn't. Wow, he was really running on a razor's edge there before without that. Black Knight just passed up some worm sprites with the wonderful, I think that's Final Fantasy III NES worm sprite. And he's about to pull Lich 1 in the lead right now. He's got the magic. He's got a well-leveled party of 4, so a lot of redundancy there, a lot of casters. I like Black Knight's chances to take this, and it would be a comeback win and an unfortunate drop if Avos is not able to, get another shot at this.
Yeah, I mean it's been very interesting watching them. It's one runner does this one way, the other runner does it this way, and then they both kind of like lose track of their notes. It could be nerves, it could be just a lot of different things, and you see it here. Avos played around with his food, which was Kraken 2. Kraken 2 said, eat a nuke, lost a lot of his party, and then wasted a lot of time trying to eat through all these unrunnable seafood party platters.
Yep, Black Knight doing some defensive strats here against Carry 2. All the boss prep we were talking about earlier that he did against Tia 1 is happening here. Defensive buffs, Knight in the back rail, playing very conservatively. So he's done a round of buffs. I think it's time to start firing out some damage. Gonna Fade. Has no nuke charges on those red mages. Not surprising, as it was level 7 and they did not get the levels required. Hopefully he saves at least 1 nuke for Kraken just to speed up that fight. Going with power bonk strats, so still not dealing consistent melee damage. He's on to round 3 against Carry. The deeper you get against a fiend, the more likely they are to cast a spell that can wipe you, so he's got to hurry up.
I don't like that Ice 3 cast.
Ooh, nice. That was a big hit.
With Ice 3 and Temper on the same thing, might as well just cast the Temper on that night.
Yeah, exactly. Because all these mages are within range of nuke, which can roll up to 400 damage, and when they take a little bit of chip damage, they're in range of nuclear, which can roll up to 320. And I don't want to say Tornado and Swirl cap out in the high 200s. Those are some pretty spicy skills that are also in the boss revisited skill pool.
Yeah, because Black Knight only has 2 ribbons, I think. He wasn't able to find the 3rd ribbon that Ava... Well, no, because they both full cleared, so they should have 3 ribbons. On your right hand... Ooh, Sea Trolls... Yeah, definitely 2 of those took a pretty good shot from the blaze, so only 2 of them's got the ribbon. What a comeback story so far. Black Knight finally able to do a cheeky, basically runs through Earth, goes to Marsh, which ends up being where the loot is, to catch up time. And unfortunate wipe by Avos allows him to take the lead at this point.
Yeah, so people with their pick'em brackets in the Discord might be having some heart attacks here because of the lead flipping. Like, oh yeah, Avos has got this, Avos has got this. Now it's like Black Knight's got this, Black Knight's got this. But it's the great equalizer, right? Black Knight has yet to see what Kraken has, so and yet to see Tia at all. So there's a lot that could go wrong here.
4 Sea Snakes. That's not what you want to see here. Is Black Knight lower leveled light warriors that don't have the MDef to resist that stone touch. And these Sea Snakes, by the way, rolled really high HP. Thankfully, we have nuke, but that is our last nuke on a seafloor that is basically filled with them.
Yeah, this Topher, it doesn't always happen like this, but this has been one that's been more about resource management, spell charges, what magic you have, not only how many total you had coming in, but then what you spend on the mobs versus on the bosses. And that's one of the classic, I think, underrated parts of the difficulty of TOFR. It's not just a boss rush. There are mobs in between, and you've got to clear them sometimes.
Oh, Paralyzing Touch Wednesday Hags. Nice. Things to waste time. How exciting.
Yeah, those are some pretty menacing Wizahag sprites. Kind of a bit of a thematic change. They're more of like mermen in the original sprites, and those kind of look like jellyfish.
Might as well cast the Ice 2, Black Knight. Don't cast the Ice 3.
Bane, actually, Bane is super solid into this formation.
Bane, yeah. Yeah,
because these have pretty low. And I think that was a nuke that just came out first turn from Lich. So the speed bump had that vanilla first turn opening that's so feared, but thankfully did not knock out the Red Wizard, who is the most important one to keep alive there with that life charge.
Yeah, thankfully, because of that 3-party system that was able to have the higher levels, more HP growth, or more HP.
Also, we've got a tragedy here on the right side. Both the life casters are down for Black Knight. Enough blazes came out. This pack has been pretty brutal on our runners this game. You can still win, and he knows he can still win. You've got a fast caster, and you've got a knight. But now we're looking at a situation where we probably need to leave the knight in the top slot, susceptible to those melees from Kraken and Tiamat, and just hope that the Black Mage stays up. Actually, that's funny. We got Black Knight here running with a Black Wizard and a Knight, so it's kind of thematic.
But while that's all going on, because Black Knight's only about halfway through this floor, and Avos has managed to catch up. That's how slow the Seafood Party Platter has slowed Black Knight. That's that's almost 3 levels that Avos has gone through in the 2 encounters Black Knight has gone through.
Yeah, Black Knight also having a lot of decision paralysis here, looking at his inventory screen, really trying to optimize. He's in the best possible setup here. He's just moving around the slots, but keep all that gear where it is. White shirt on the Black Wizard, everything that the Knight's got. You want to keep the Maza equipped probably at least through Kraken. We can do this. We just need to keep steady and hopefully not run into more seafood. Meanwhile, Avos has killed Carrie and is on the floor behind with 3 Light Warriors up, including a Life Caster. This could be so darn close.
Oh.
He's going to put the Knight in the back row, which means it's taking an even amount of threat with the Black Wizard. So 50-50 chance for either to be attacked.
Oh.
Nuclear high rolls the Black Wizard immediately.
Oh. Alright. Kraken's got a nuke, right? Yeah.
Yeah, we saw it. So a nuke and a nuclear in the list. Zap, we did see that come out against Avos and not kill anyone. So progressing through that spell list.
Should be coming up.
Thankfully, the physicals aren't hitting. We want Kraken to physical Black Knight.
Oh.
Okay, getting some swings out. this should be maybe okay. Even Nuke could come out and roll low. On the left side of your screen, Avos is buffing up. Black Knight's cleared Kraken. He's going to have slower fights. He's going to have to spend more time healing. I think Avos has a big advantage. But if the other Fiends play nice and roll low enough for an unfasted Knight to get through, Black Knight's got a shot. This mob's not going to help. He needs to win this coin flip and get away. Oh, and he gets it. Okay, yeah, that Knight is about 52% to run right now. Avos locking down Kraken, making sure all his hits lands. 9 hits, 1103, Kraken down. Black Knight gets a pretty bad trash fight, but runs away. You love to see it. One more. Iron Goal's unrunnable. Thankfully, he gets crits on the Maza. They have high defense, but he's going to knock him out. Okay, so he's actually going to get a lot of experience from this fight. Could help him, but right now it's slowing him down. It's going to mean he has to spend time with the heal potions.
What are those crits?
Yeah, you love it. The Maza has a crit rate of 10 in the data in the ROM, and it's been doubled in this case to 20. That means he's critting about 10% of the time on his 5 hits. Pulls into Tiamat, doesn't need to change slots. He just needs turn order. Holy smokes! 6 hits for 3/4 of the. That's it. That Black Knight's dive is over. You got to go back in with what you've got here. You still have a chance. We don't know what Tiamat and Chaos can do spell-wise. They could still wipe Avos.
Oh, full offense by Avos. First turn, all tempers by Earth.
Yeah, but that's what you need in that case, the meat shield, to soak up those 6 hits from Tiamat. So Tiamat has 4 in vanilla, has rolled up to 6, and probably rolled up on the damage. You rarely see Tiamat hit quite that hard, even in these flag settings. A back row crack. That was a 1 in 4 there to attack that Knight. Gonna need to cure form up and get some turn order. And gonna need to just swing and oh no! Okay. Now he's got to get through here with damage, or maybe try fasting the red mage. What's the red mage swinging? Maybe a Vorpal? Maybe a Sunsword? Black mage down. He's got a Vorpal. Okay. Do you have fast on this character? Can you? Oh, maybe get some crits. Oh no!
So this is where Nuke helps. If he had Nuke, he could have just switched over to just casting Nuke.
Yeah. Like, look at those levels. He would have 2 charges of Nuke on the Red Wizard if he went and picked it up. Can you remember, Avos? I'm telepathically telling you to go to Gaia. That's not the direction, but he is maybe going for some other magic.
So, one thing that also he probably should have done was, instead of casting all the tempers first, fast, then temper, because he never actually got the fast out on the Knight.
Not only that, but also maybe prioritize evasion stacking. So now both runners have been as deep as Tiamat. They have information. They know that physical threat is really important against Tiamat. They've full cleared the game. They got white shirt defense, multiple Invis 2 casters. So I think we're going to see them prioritize evasion stacking as they adjust for these second tries or third tries. I don't think this TOFR is that bad, all things considered. It's on the worst side on average. I think the boss fights are super doable with the right party order, the right spells, and the right action adjustments. But our runners are learning on the fly, and that's what you got to do. When the seed presents you a brick wall, you've just got to find a way to go through it.
Yeah. And Frosties, unfortunately, there goes Earth again. Oh, damage poison. I mean, even these unrunnable badmen that are on the Phantom tile, I mean, there's just so much stuff that's eating up your spell casts, your heal potions, your cure 4s that are level 1. I mean,
give them the cake, give them the bane. Badmen are susceptible to insta kills. I would love to see some bane come out here. Maybe to get through this fight a little faster. Also, I gotta say, it's just super fitting. Well, maybe not perfectly fitting. So Earth is flat right now, taking a dirt nap, but Dirt is alive, so that would have been the most fitting.
It really is.
How did you end up with He must have named the mages according to who he thought would be down for his 3-person party all game, but Earth ended up being that one instead of Dirt, because it's Fire, Earth, Wind, and it's not Water. Like, what?
Oh, and then, unfortunately, Black Knight eating these poisons, and with the lower HP pools that he's got, that damage poison, even while being resisted, is just eating him up.
Yeah, and he has at least 2 ribbons, right? He Titan's Trove and the ribbon that we got from early in the game. He might need to level, or might think he needs to level for some HP. Maybe even picking up... Is this going to be Cure 4 on the night? No, this is going to be an armor check. Didn't have maybe max pro rings, or is he looking for gold bracelets? What's the deal here? Gold bracelets would be a slight improvement, but I don't think he needs absorb. I think he needs HP, or no, he needs his adjustment. Yeah, move one of those ribbons. Move a ribbon onto a life caster. That's the big issue here for Black Knight. Get those ribbons onto the red wizards. You will be in so much better shape for your next dive.
Yeah, somehow... Wait, where are all these ribbons? Trying to find them.
Yeah, one of the ribbons must have been an Earth, right? Because Black Knight, that's the only stuff that he didn't clear that Avos did.
Canary locked? Maybe he missed that one?
No, he got that. I saw him pick that one up. That was the early ribbon. And then the late one was in Titan's Trove.
Okay, so they must not have done the one in Armory, which was the...
Oh, Armory!
Yeah, in the upper right-hand side.
Oh, he actually left those chests behind, and, you know, not that big of a punish, but a 3rd ribbon would actually make the difference here, so costing him some time.
Danny always doing an amazing job behind the scenes, keeping track of everything. We were able to go back and look at it. Thank you, Danny.
Yeah, in a long seed like this, you know, casters, our memories are short. The tracking is just absolutely essential, especially when they full clear the game and there's so many unique items to make note of.
So, yeah, I mean, it's so weird, too, because it's kind of a battle of speed against Kraken, because you have to beat out the nuke and the nuclear if you can, because you don't want to get hit by both of them. And then it's kind of like, I need to slow down on Tiamat and get my evade up so I can get through it. It's really weird.
Yep. And hey, Gregory Puff, welcome to the chat. Yes, all red wizards on screen now have life 2. Black Knight was more studious about getting his promoted magic earlier. Avos just went back to pick it up before this sort of set of dive attempts. I still like Avos' chances a little bit more even without nuke, just because of his levels. Those HP thresholds really critical right now. And good on him switching that Maza. You've got one carry who needs to deal the majority of your damage.
Yeah, because I think his first swing with all those tempers, he did almost 1,000 damage. So the Tiamat, very possible to round it, but he's got to survive and get that far.
I also haven't been paying attention if they have been hard or soft resetting after wiping, because we've seen that unrunnable Badman a lot, and we've seen those unrunnable seafood platters a lot, and if that's off power cycle, a soft reset could be the way to get through TOFR faster.
Oh, that unrunnable Badman is the Phantom Tile.
Oh! Huh!
Oh yeah,
that's a random encounter on that floor, too.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd rather face a Phantom there. But regardless, Avos is pulling carry 2 for, I believe, the 3rd time.
Oh, good turnover.
Yeah, you'll love to see this. This could be a one-shot here. Not quite. 734, though. Should be a 2-rounder. Don't really need to cast much. You could even maybe wait with the mages. Stop gonna miss everyone. They all resist time element right now thanks to 3 ribbons, and 188 damage finishes it off. Black Knight dumping some Fire 2s into these Gurmadoos is going to pick up a little extra experience, get maybe to 25 on his characters. Every point of HP matters right now. We got some alternative strats here coming out from our veterans in chat, suggesting ways that the runners could maybe get through this situation more safely. If Tia 2 is doing a lot of physical damage and knocking out characters one by one, maybe you go for a red mage carry strat there. Try and get through with a Maza and a defense, and then you can pick up everyone else with life 2 afterwards. We did see in another race, I believe it was Caleb's last race, where he leaned on a red mage carry right at the end of the game. So good strat to have in your back pocket. Alright, Lich 2 down again for Black Knight, does not get nucleared. That's good to see, because even though it probably wouldn't have killed too many of his characters, it is a lot of time you have to spend healing afterwards. Also, I hope you like seafood. We got an all-you-can-eat special tonight here at the Final Fantasy Randomizer restaurant. We've got snake, we got lobster, and we got troll. A little bit tough. Especially the snake is kind of overcooked. Hope you don't mind. Our chefs were a little tired when they made it, but still, what can you say? It's all you can eat. It's a buffet. It's free. Take your fill. Just don't get a kidney stone from the stone touch. Sorry, at 2 hours and 33 minutes, the casters may be losing our minds. We got more.
I mean, I'm looking at the left-hand side, and I'm like, shouldn't he be, like, farther in the water floor? Like, it's been a couple minutes. I remember, oh, that's right. This food party platter takes forever to kill.
Yeah, this is not even the good stuff. We don't get caviar here. We don't get Maine lobster. We don't get Dungeness crab. No, we get. This is like the Red Lobster special here. Alright. Runners healing up. Black Knight about to pull carry is just basically one fiend behind Avos. Anything can still happen with how this Kraken and Tiamat have going. And a runner has not even seen Chaos yet. What if Chaos is terrible?
I'm not a big fan of Black Knight's double red with our only life casters in the front, but yeah, as you said, Chaos hasn't even been looked at. Like, we haven't even seen. Oh, by Earth! Wow, that looked like that was painful.
Yeah, should be okay though. You did your job, soaked the hit. We're gonna invis a little bit, swing with the Maza. 1033. This Kraken is not long for the world, but just the fact that he did that much damage and Kraken didn't die means Kraken rolled up. 900 HP in vanilla. Okay, he's looking for that 10th hit, so he spends a luck. Probably better than doing nothing or wasting a magic charge at another slot with the Black Mage. Comes through 9 hits, 12-17. Kraken down. Now we've got the real challenger. Don't spend the Cure 4 here. You don't need to. Yeah, exactly. You're not missing much HP. Save that Cure 4. It could be critical. Black Knight throws out a Fade. Gets 212. Power bonking still with the Knight. Maybe investing a little bit more time buffing against carry than he should, given carry's rolling about 900 HP. But regardless, the fight's over. Black Knight's going to crawl through the seafood floor, past all of the food, and is a couple minutes behind Avos, I think, assuming both of these dives are successful. And that's me being optimistic. I am assuming they will both be successful this time.
I mean, I know for Avos had to, like I said, I mean, that was a big shot that he, in his last attempt. That was 1,000 hit. That was almost a base vanilla shot here. We know Tiamat's been critting like non-stop, so here we go.
Okay, white shirt. Invis 2. Defense. Defense is right there. Yeah. Okay, so we didn't get the fast out. That's fine. We are going to get 4 stacks of evasion on the knight this turn, 2 stacks on the mages. That's critical. You want to keep doing that with the red mage, but get out that fast before the second black mage goes down. Or do it with the red mage. Something. Get out of fast before one of the mages dies. Already the knight only taking 1 hit from Tia there, down from 6. That's a big improvement. This fight suddenly feels a lot better.
Accidental mage staff. Kraken pulled on the right-hand side here. Black Knight's trying to catch up.
Yeah. So far, he has all his light warriors up, but the HP totals are precarious. Black Knight could wipe at any moment to another bad AoE. The heal staff's going to keep him just a little bit topped off. Power bonks and tempers. Gets a free turn with an ink. Hopefully comes back and gets a big crack from the knight on his next turn. Speaking of big cracks from the knight, Avos just dealt 10 hits over 1,000 damage. We're in good shape here. This should be... Oh yeah, 1458. Tia 2 is down. Avos is in the position to win it, but can he? We got one more fiend to get through, the biggest one of them all. Black Knight, 2 light warriors down, Kraken 2 for 723. Even the red mage is chipping in 1 damage. It might matter, but 589, Kraken down. Black Knight's going to be able to resurrect his characters. He's got that life too. Multiple charges. So...
a victory lap by Avos, well deserved after finally taking out Tiamat 2.
Yeah, if Tiamat 2 were the final boss, I would say he'd earned it. But every minute does count here. Black Knight is on his heels. Pulls Chaos at the 2-hour 38 mark for the first time. Is this going to be a 900 HP Chaos, or is this going to be a 4600 HP Chaos? What do you think?
I'm hoping for a 4600 Chaos, I'm not going to lie.
I guess if you've got nothing better to do with the rest of your night, then me neither, because I would also like to see a high roll Chaos here, maybe high agility, maybe one we've got to work for. Not going to be doing too much in the way of physical attacks, though, so if there's any threat, it's going to be out of the spell list, not the physical.
He's gonna try swinging right away. I like this. Let's see what he...
Lit 2 free, even though it does take down Earth. Oh, how many charges of lock do we have? 1 hit for 55 there. We got a couple charges of lock. Gonna prioritize some more defense though, more buffing before necessarily sending out those lock charges with the Black Mage. Black Knight still has everyone up, needs to get a Cure 4 off on this night for things not to go super far south against Tia. More buffs for Avos. White shirt, gonna keep everyone super safe. Finally, we got a fast here. So, oh, and Chaos has fast, but that should be okay unless Chaos has a lot of crits. Low absorb. That Chaos just got hit for 7 hits, over 1,000 damage. Avos is in a pretty secure position to win this. High HP on the knight. You would have to be just super unlucky to lose from here. That's it. Terminated. Avos has won an official first place time on SRL of 2 hours, 39 minutes, 42 seconds. Get out your GGs for Avos. Holy cow, what an endgame.
Oh, I mean, that was insane. Finally able to get through Tiamat. Tiamat was the real gatekeeper here of sorts. I mean, a complete change of pace. You had to go fast against Kraken 2, and then you had to slow down your game here to get, or to not basically die from Tiamat. And Avos, welcome to the broadcast booth. You look a little haggard, a little sweaty. How you feeling?
I think pretty much exactly like you described.
Yeah, I was gonna say you earned it there. Tiamat did not want to play nice at all.
Yeah. Tiamat and Kraken and Lich had some surprises of their own, and
yeah, nothing came easy here. This is an end game for the ages. For people that maybe don't have as much rando experience watching this, all Tophers aren't like this, but this is one of those trial by fire seed.
yeah. I think if I had gotten Invis 2 when I did that other, the first shopping trip for life 2 and temper, I think I would have gotten through that, with one less dive.
Yeah, the story of this TOFR is super complicated based on when each person came in, what gear you had, what magic you had. Black Knight had more of the magic prepared. He didn't have quite the levels you did, though, and he wiped to Tia with a solo knight the first time through. You've been back and forth. Each one of you had a chance to win here. He's on Chaos right now with a chance to finish out.
Oh, well, that Chaos was also evasive. Yeah, I see someone asking in chat if he doesn't have lock.
Yeah, very evasive Chaos, but very low HP. You only did about 1,500 damage, I think, and that was enough.
After everything else, I felt like I earned that much at least.
Yeah, I think with how long this run had been going, it's a sigh of relief. We've got both our runners finished now. Get out your GGs for Black Knight. Finishes in second place with a time of 2 hours, 42 minutes, and 43 seconds. Kindly Chaos makes up for the just drudgery that the previous few fiends and all the seafood preceding them were for our runners.
And the bad men too.
Oh yeah. Nothing came easy tonight. This was also... This Topher is like erasing our memories. Remember all the stuff that happened before that? Like the loose loot in the literal worst location it could be in the game, Marsh Keylocked? How'd that feel?
Oh, I was tilted. I was starting to feel kind of tilted. When I had gone through all of Sea Shrine, and then I couldn't remember if I had checked that first chest on the left in the entrance.
Oh, that's
why I went back for it. And then like halfway through, I was like, yeah, this feels familiar. I definitely did check that.
So both of you double dipped C. You double dipped because you skipped a lot of chests. Black Knight got down to 2 Light Warriors with 2 stoned and decided it wasn't safe to go all the way to Kraken, so had already cleared the chests but needed to come back for Kraken anyways. So you held hands through that second sea dive. You both full cleared Sky. However, Black Knight made a decision. If he interviews here, we'll have to ask him about regarding Earth Cave, which kind of made the end game a little bit more spicy. Meanwhile, as far as things you can answer, so yeah, what are some takeaways you have? What did the difficulty and the magic and all this stuff, what did that teach you as you learned from this win?
I think definitely the thing, like, there was a lot to take away, but
Hello?
I think the loot being in that spot, I think that would have gotten a lot of people, and it was a gamble.
Yeah.
It would have been a gamble to take that.
Yeah, there's no shame in getting to the loot right there. That's the last location in the game for most runners, except for Black Knight. So, by the way, welcome to the booth, and GG on finishing that Nightmare Seed.
Yeah.
Black Knight, I've got to ask, when you go moded Earth, did you do it on purpose, or did you forget you didn't have the loot?
I did it on purpose because I was trying to save time.
Oh, wow. Then heads up play. Though, I guess if in that case, I would have maybe hoped you'd go to Marsh first, just to be sure about it.
Yeah, I was thinking the vampire chest might have the loot, and it's like, well, I got to kill Lich anyway. But yeah, because
I mean, Earth is not incentivized this week. That's like a 1 in 30 from what you had left, so it would have been pretty Galaxy Brain if it did.
Yeah, I was just trying to save time. I was like, well, I gotta go there. I'll just run through it real quick, and then if it's not there, hit Marsh next.
Yeah, you so that was fortunate on your part, especially because you also didn't go back and check the couple of chests you left behind in Volcano, and one of those chests that you left behind had the 3rd ribbon.
I was thinking too, is like, do I go to Volcano and check those chests, or do I go for Marsh? It's like, well, it might be in Marsh. So luckily it was there.
Yeah, this run was kind of the story in both of your cases of things you did or didn't leave behind, or slight missed checks, those sorts of things that added up. Avos, I hate to break the news to you, but you could have had 3 nuke casters.
Oh, what level was Nuke?
It was in the Gaia shop that you passed by in the top slot. Your red wizard got high enough to learn and have multiple charges, and your black mages would have had a few.
Yeah, it was level
Oh.
7. I'll have
Yeah.
to go back and watch the VODs.
I mean, Topher was definitely the kingmaker there.
Yeah, that run where I lost both my red mages, it's like, man, I almost made it with the solo knight, but
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
Right.
I think we both did at one point.
Yeah, the adjustments were super important. The things that you changed in between runs in order to eventually be successful. Black Knight, we were hoping that you would throw those ribbons onto the life casters earlier. They were sitting on your knight and your black mage, respectively.
Yeah, I never even thought about that.
But this run, while being kind of exhausting, kind of a chore, and unfortunately, in your case, Black Knight being a loss, it is so juicy in terms of game knowledge and material. You'll be able to watch this back and learn so much that's going to help you against your opponents in the coming weeks.
Yeah, it's definitely a learning experience.
And save items, by the way, gotta prioritize the save items early to get across the overworld safely. We were all really sad when you weren't able to make it away from Crescent Lake there, Black Knight.
Yeah, so was I. I had a rough, start. I was probably a half an hour before I really got going anywhere. And so, yeah, I gotta manage my money better and get those tents or cabins going.
Well, there is one thing I wanted to ask. Was damage poison on the Medusa script?
We can't say for sure. So there are 3 damage poisons in the vanilla pool because all of the elemental dragons have 3 copies of Tiamat's skills, so they can be distributed, and you can find multiple enemies that have it when it's not on the Medusa script.
Yeah, I know it was on ice dragons.
Yeah, we saw a lot of damage poison problems this seed. A lot of problems with a lot of enemies. Astos was busting out lethal things that wasn't free. Yeah, you had to work to earn everything this seed.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it
definitely.
was definitely a little tougher than the last seed I played.
Yeah, but I think having cleared this, we'll both have an easier time because this was definitely on the upper end of Topher's.
Yeah, and even the normal enemy scaling, everything had a lot more HP.
Yep, we were dreading those sea snakes all run.
Oh, the stone touch snakes, I hated those things.
I got pretty lucky with them because I only ever got stoned by them once.
Oh, I got hit a few times. Then at one time I didn't have any soft potions. I was like, man, now I gotta go to the shop.
Yeah, that did cost you a bit of time having to leave Sea Shrine there. You could have gambled and kept pushing since you hadn't gotten any critical treasures on the left side. Even if you did wipe to Kraken, it would have been the same as exiting and coming back anyways, pretty much.
Yeah. And that's another thing that just comes with experience and knowing the game. I mean, I've been playing this a long time, but I don't know it like a lot of people here know it.
Yeah, the strategies to play the vanilla game versus the randomizer are much different based on the order you get the gear, what the fiends and what the enemies can do. But yeah, when you've got good levels, when you've got defensive gear, and when you've got offensive buffs, you can kill just about anything. So take that confidence with you.
Yeah. Well,
All right, it's been a
look
long
forward to next week,
broadcast and a long race. I'm sure everyone's getting a little bit tired, so we'll start wrapping it up here. Why don't we get final thoughts on the seed and on the rest of the tournament? Avos?
You know, I definitely learned it's really important to have those utility spells, even if you feel just a little bit behind. You know, you can't skimp on Topher.
Absolutely, 100%. Black Knight, thoughts?
I'm just glad to be done. I learned a lot. Like I said, I'll have to go back and watch, but hopefully I can cut some more time out here.
Absolutely. And certainly don't worry about your positions 2-1, 1-2. You know, it's the middle of Swiss. You only need to get to 4 wins for a shot at that play-in race. And even at 3 wins, you have that last-ditch hope for the last chance qualifier. For all our fans watching here, this has been a great run. Dengwu, did you enjoy casting it? Because I did.
Yes, I did. It was great. You know, you and I got to do our casting. I got to lean on you for your knowledge, and I got to just spew my nonsense that I normally do. And these runners gave us one heck of a battle in Temple of Fiends Revisited for us to watch and reminisce about. So I can't ask for anything better.
Yeah, it was a wild ride and really, really satisfying. All right, so for everyone still watching, thank you for being here. Big shout outs to our tracker, Danny, who's also rocking it in this tournament. She's helping out so much behind the scenes, getting things scheduled. Thank you to the Speed Gaming family of networks for hosting so many of these races. Check us out. You can join the Final Fantasy Randomizer Discord either by following the links in chat or going to finalfantasyrandomizer.com. You can follow the runners, follow the commentators, and you can also check this out on YouTube. Dengwu here has been super great about starting to get those videos uploaded to the FFR YouTube channel. So much great content. I hope you'll continue to watch the tournament races with us through Fire Week and beyond. Good night.